Welcome to the Bros Who Think Podcast, starring your host, Mr. Lynden Burton, and his co-host, Horace Hall, aka Brooqlyn, and Adam Shubert. We got a lot to get into, fellas, so without further ado, take it away, Lynden.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Yes, we are back. This is the Bros Who Think Podcast. My name is Lyn and Brooqlyn, a.k.a. Young Boy D-Wits, a.k.a. the People's Champ, a.k.a. Beard Gang is in the mother freaking effing fucking building, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh lineup. I'm feeling nice. Looking good. Episode 82. Joined by my co-host, Mr. Brooqlyn. Brooqlyn, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I was about to say, this motherfucker did not say the people's freaking champ. Like, who the hell are you trying to censor yourself for?
The people's freaking champ. We just out here, okay, baby. We just out here feeling a good vibe. Back, because last week, one of my niggas was sick. One of my niggas was asleep. Shubert was MIA. Justin had a game. All my niggas just ditched me last week. It was rough, but nah. It was rough, nah. But Brooqlyn's a father, so like that he got bail. Schubert already badmouthed him on Bros Who Binge. Justin had a basketball game, and Cameron stays sicker than him. Cameron be more sick than anybody I've ever met in my life.
He be sicker than most old ladies I know. like dead ass, boy. Like, I'm gonna need you to start like taking your multivitamins or something, cuz
we gotta get my nigga on a better health plan, like to fix that immune system.
And you know what's funny? I be seeing you eating too, and it be looking like some gourmet chef shit. You probably don't be putting no vegetables with the stuff you be cooking, bro.
Wait, that's funny
cause that shit be looking real good, nigga. But I never see no vegetables
on them IG stories and stuff. Yeah, cause he Chef Cam, bro. He be out there.
He be ODing, but I don't be seeing no vegetables.
No, you know, it's just meat and either fried,
play too much,
barbecued.
That barbecue, I'm like, yeah, he played too much, see? Cause I know you're not grilling no fucking asparagus with that, nigga.
We love you, my nigga.
Potatoes on that shit.
Bronchitis is a motherfucker. Get better, but yeah, no, I'm just talking shit because, like I said, on Bros Who Binge, I already gave it to Shuby. I told Shuby on the show I had to let you niggas hear it. But nah, glad to be back. Episode 82. It's life, but we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Like we said, we're not gonna miss. If we miss, we just miss once, and then we right back at you. Right. We got a lot to talk about because a lot happened between last week and this week. Look, so there's some things from last week that we will talk about. Some things from last week have gotten resolved already in a week, but we have a lot to get into for this week. So we're gonna start with this week's stuff, and then we'll mix it in and out. So first off, I want to start happy because there is a lot of sad stuff, and this is funny, and I know the women out there love this because I told this to my girl, and she was like, "That's a real man," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, oh my god, let young Future live." But nah, honestly, if I'm being all serious, shout out to this nigga because this is crazy. Russell Wilson bought Ciera's masters, all of them, for her to become independent and started her own record label venture. He didn't tell anybody about this. Like, some journalist found this out from, I guess, just doing research.
Yeah,
but
he probably chopping it up with somebody who was close to one of them.
Yeah, but nobody put it on IG. Russell or Ciera, they kind of let it go on the real. What we think about this? I mean, from that standpoint, like, bravo to, because he could have definitely posted that on IG.
I would have definitely flexed. Don't call me vain or nothing, but when you do some shit like that,
big flex.
It's my obligation to flex on you niggas. Like, I got to.
And not only that, let's just look at his life in particular. There's one person that has been targeting him non-stop, and that is Future. What is the ultimate flex but, yeah, I bought my baby her masters. Yeah. Like, she free, unlike some of you niggas out here. Like, imagine if Russell would have IG that.
That's why I would have had to flex. Like, I don't understand, bro. Because all Future do is come from my son neck. That's all he do. And all Russell trying to do
is be a good man.
And raise your kid. I don't understand, bro. I really don't get it. I'm confused, but I would have really had to shit on you. I would have had to shit on you.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's crazy though. Like, and it had to be a big value because Ciera, like, in general, buying your masters is a big deal. it's how the label eat, like especially in 2019 with everything with streaming. Right. The masters is how they eat, and that's how they're allowed to give people these bonuses of million. Like that's how you get these bonuses when you sign these 360s. They own you essentially. But Ciara's masters, in the sense, goodies 1-2 step. She got some hits. Like, that was some expensive masters that Russ spent. Like, Russ definitely should have flexed.
And for me, also, it also speaks volume to how much more money
that he has.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's a well-paid quarterback, but he's not one of like the top 5 well-paid quarterbacks.
I'm gonna look this up. Yeah, I'm gonna look
because there's some niggas like what's this nigga's name?
Derek Carr. I know maybe
Derek Carr is. Oh my god, that contract is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid. All right, right now the highest paid quarterbacks, top 10 or highest paid.
And Rodgers should be one for sure.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers number 1, Matt Ryan number 2, Jimmy Garoppolo number 3. We got Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald up there. Alex Smith is up 6.
Holy shit.
Drew Brees is 7. Tom Brady's 8. Odell is 9. Kirk Cousins is 10. And
scroll back up.
Like
Did
Russell.
You say
who?
Alex Smith?
Oh yeah, Alex Smith's 6, brother. He makes more than fucking Russell Wilson.
Fuck.
Like, watch. Let's look up Russell Wilson's contract since we're
that is ridiculous.
Looking at the numbers.
And Jimmy Garoppolo, I really hope for the 49ers, and you know what? We're gonna get to that topic later. But I hope for the 49ers they get in some more.
He signed a deal that is worth $87.6 million in before the 2015 season, with $61 million guaranteed. On Friday, Wilson's $4.9 million of his $15 million salary becomes guaranteed. It won't be the only. Okay, so yeah, he's making good money, and he's gonna have to re-sign. But it's crazy that his deal is like lower than some of these other of these other quarterbacks right now, like Aaron Rodgers making freaking 70, like
was gonna get that bag whether the Jets were gonna give it to him or not.
Like making $79 million with $66 million signing bonus. Freaking Jimmy Garoppolo $43 million with like $46 million in signing bonus. Like, what the hell is that? Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. Like, even freaking Alex Smith, $41 million in total earnings and $40 million signing bonus. That's crazy, that's mad, bro. That's mad crazy. So, like we're saying, Russell Wilson makes money, but he's not one of the richest quarterbacks, like, by far. And to buy this, like,
that's how I know that the music industry is like got a stronghold on some of these people. Some of these people that you thought would have enough money,
they broke
to buy. Like, I thought Ciara would have had enough money to had already bought that shit.
Nah.
When I read it, that was one of the things that went through my mind. For sure.
Like, some people don't, like, if you look at it, Kanye's fighting right now to get his masters. Like, Chris Brown,
I assume his cost
a lot. Like, and that's crazy. Like, Chris Brown just got all of his masters, and he's so young. Like, I don't know why they sold Brown his, like, I don't know what kind of deal that was. That Chris got his. Crazy.
Chris spent a lot of money on his masters.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he had something in his contract that somebody had snuck in, which I doubt it because he was 16, where it would have, gave him his masters over time. I'm pretty sure he spent a lot of bread.
Like, I don't even know if Drake owned his own masters. Like, I don't know if Kendrick owned his own. Like, I don't know if some of these dudes that we think are like the best rap like own their own masters.
Keep it a buck, bro. I wouldn't even attempt to try to buy my masters.
Like, it would be like
they can have. I make so much money touring that I'm not even about to waste my money
and see
doing that. Okay?
That's the thing. That's because why.
If he picture this. Imagine something crazy happened later on in his life. He lose all the bread. If Drake decides to come out of retirement and go on a fucking farewell tour, he gonna make all the bread he lost plus more.
I'm gonna be in that bitch.
Keep it up with you, bro. Don't even buy the master, bro. You don't need that shit.
He like if he,
because it's probably gonna be too expensive.
Yeah, it would, like, his shit would be crazy value. Rihanna's shit, crazy value. I'm sure Hov is working to buy Beyonce's masters, but that's gonna take some. Like, we talking about Drake and Rihanna, that's gonna take some time. Like, I don't know if Hov gonna ever get that.
I wouldn't buy it.
Like, cause Hov got his, like, Blue Ivy and them straight off of just his. But but if they get B's, Whoo! But see, that's the thing. So that's why some of these rappers aren't as rich as we think. The young niggas, because it's like you said, these niggas gotta make their money off of touring. And like, for example, like a designer. That's why he trying to start beef with Ye now, because like only got one song, don't have mass. Labor's probably signed him to a 360 deal. He only can make money from touring. And like, who trying to see Panda perform 9 times and Timmy Turner perform 7? Like, nobody trying to see that. Like, with the like, come on, dog.
Niggas said Panda 9 times.
9 times and Timmy Turner 7. You got to do them both. Like that is a fact. He gonna open up with Panda, do it about 3 times, switch to Timmy Turner for 4, switch back to Panda for 2, do Timmy Turner 2 more times, and then close the show out with the final however many Pandas are left. Swear to God, he gonna do it different. He gonna acapella. Like, you know that's what he do. Like, that shit is annoying, bro. Like niggas that only have a couple songs, like, go back in the lab, my G.
Facts.
Like,
maybe he's mad that Kanye won't let him release no more music.
Is the music good enough? Like, cause
it's probably trash.
Like
it's
low key. I'm not gonna even stunt. Designer did release a song when he was releasing Outlet. It was one of the songs out during that time that he put on SoundCloud that I thought was a banger, and I was like, damn, how does not ride? Maybe they're not putting money into him.
It could be that too.
Like, like you got to think Tiana had to do all kind of crazy shit to get her shit out, and I really think the only reason why they signed him was to ease the deal that, hey, we're taking your whole song and putting it on this album.
Right.
Like,
that's exactly what that was for.
So like they had to sign him. But speaking on Chris, because we talked about Chris Brown, but shout out to Russ. That's dope that you bought Ciara's masters.
A true king.
Yeah, real king.
I can't front.
That's some king shit. That's not a weird flex. That's big flex. That's huge. That's big king energy. That's big, like niggas want to say big dickhead. That's big king energy.
Facts, bro.
Facts.
They don't get no bigger than that.
Nah, 100%. Pause. Pause on all that. But Chris Brown, man, last week him and Offset got in some shit. We gonna get to Offset and what happened with him this week, but and that kind of connects to 21 Savage. 21 Savage was he had his ICE stuff. We come to find out that he is actually he's from the UK. He came here on a visa. It expired apparently, and then he's been working since like 2016. Ever since he made money in the rap game, he's been working once he found out that his visa's messed up, he's been working to fix it. But it just so happened that one day he was with Young Nutty. Young Nutty had a gun or something, and they picked 21 up. But he's been released. But the whole thing was during that time before he was released, people didn't know if he was gonna get released on bail. The niggas got on Demi Lovato for her memes.
Roasted her.
Okay, can we be honest? I didn't think Demi crossed the line.
They don't care that Demi didn't cross the line, bro.
Yo, that was crazy.
It was a pure attack on Demi's
like Black Twitter got
personal being, bro. It was like completely.
They probably gonna come for me too, and I get that the 21 shit was serious.
It was serious, bro. The fucking memes was fucking hilarious, and it was black people laughing.
That's my thing.
It was totally. I thought the Demi shit was funny because it was like blatantly, yo, we don't even like you, bitch.
Yeah, and like that's the thing.
Straight up like, yo, what
that was some hypocrite shit.
Why the fuck you laughing?
It was so hypocritical, and then if you want to get conspiracy, Lyn. ICE tried to make it to where, okay, ICE made it to where we thought it was okay to make fun of 21 Savage, and like they directly tweeted at us like, yo, he's not who you think, blah blah blah. So it would be like, oh, we gonna make fun of him, he not the rapper, so it would be okay that they're detaining him. So conspiracy Lyn is like, black people made it okay, like we clowned him, and then once we realized how serious, it was too late. So it was like
they was roasted, and it was the same day that Demi made fun.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Just like,
I gotta call it spade. We're being hypocrites. We are.
It was funny to me though, because it was really like
I laughed. I can't lie. I laughed.
Schoolyard things when your boys is roasting each other.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's only good sport.
And then when
you come out of nowhere, now we gotta attack your entire character.
Yeah, I know that when you on the. When you in high school and you at the lunch table and y'all all
mature as fuck.
Y'all all John and then they got the one person that just come up and say, yeah, you fatty, and like, wait, what?
Right. So it was just like,
yeah, no,
it was major hypocrite energy.
It was major hypocrite energy, but then Chris Brown posted memes too. But Offset, I will say this, he kept that same energy.
Yep.
And he goes lame. And then Chris went in with the hip hop. Chris had me laugh. Called that nigga Pootie Tang, all kind of shit.
Was it Booty, Gangstalicious?
Yeah, it was like, he want that fade, blah, blah, blah. And Offset was just like, address. And Chris was like, you know why I stayed, Google Map, blah, blah, blah. And Offset was like, police, rat. And then he's like, I'm going to just see you when I see you. Is this all like for show? You think they're going to scrap or?
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it yet. I was thinking that too. I was like, I don't know who's trying to pull the publicity stunt.
And then now that Chris is out, like, yeah. I mean, now that 21 is out, do you think that they fight?
No.
Chris better keep that energy because he said something
the same
like
shit
with Soulja Boy.
So, yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, some phony shit. We just had to talk about that because that was some last week shit. We mixing it in and out, but I just wanted to see what you thought about that. More importantly, let's talk about the Grammys. The Grammys happened. We predicted some stuff right, like Childish would win, Drake would win, but we predicted some stuff wrong. And we did say Cardi would win. I thought Cardi would win one of the record things that Childish won, but Childish won both record and I think song. Childish won two things, and then
it was like performance.
Yeah, something like that. And I thought Cardi was gonna win one of those, but Cardi won Best Rap Album, which surprised me. Drake didn't win Album of the Year. Drake won, I believe. Hold on, let me pull up
I believe it was Rap Song of the Year.
Yeah, Rap Song of the Year. Oh no, because I thought that was J-Rock. Hold on, I'm pulling up the winners. We're gonna give it to y'all real quick. So Album of the Year went to Casey Musgraves, which Drake should have won. We're gonna get into why I think Drake didn't win.
Record of the Year.
Record of the Year was Childish. Yeah. Song of the Year was Childish. Childish Gambino, This Is America. Then we get some other stuff that we don't care about. Best Rap Performance. Yeah, I knew that. Okay, that was Kendrick, J-Rock, Future, and James Blake for King's Dead. Thing. Best Rap Performance. Sung Performance was actually Childish Gambino, This Is America. Best Rap Song, you were right, God's Plan, Drake. Best Rap Album, Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B. And then Best Urban Contemporary Album, The Carters, which some weird shit. Oh, shout out to her winning Best R&B Album, and then Best R&B Song, I believe.
Was Boot Up.
Yeah, shout out to Ella Mai. So we pretty much told y'all who would win, but some of the things of where they won we were wrong about. Where you want to start? Rap album or you want to start Album of the Year? Should we start with Drake or should we start with Cardi?
Let's start with Drake.
All right, and shout out to Drake. So Far Gone, 10th year anniversary. Classic mixtape, undoubtable classic. That mixtape changed the game. Drake has done a lot, and Drake wasn't there. You could see he. I'm pretty sure he knew he won Best Rap Song. Pulled up, came backstage, did the speech, was telling people like, "Look, it doesn't mean this shit doesn't mean anything.
Right? It doesn't define your career.
It doesn't define your career. If millions of people are singing your song, this shit doesn't matter. Basically, shitting on the Grammys and basically just." Because if you're a Drake fan, then you know that there were many years Drake should have won. It shouldn't have just been Take Care. He should have won For Nothing was the same that year that was out. He should have won this year, and you could argue that he should have won the year of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, even though I think that might have been the year they made up for Kendrick. Nonetheless, Drake should have won more than just Take Care, and this was him kind of shitting on the Grammys. They cut his speech off completely, which kind of... They thought it was going to work in their favor, but Drake, like, you battling against Drake, and it's like...
You're going to lose 10 out of 10 times.
The biggest star in music, arguably, finally wins a Grammy again, and he's giving a speech, and people don't hear him talk that much. The world wants to hear what he has to say, and you cut him off, and you've been cutting off people all night, and Twitter's been clowning y'all for doing that. So it just looked bad on them.
How broke are y'all that you can't afford another hour?
Mm-hmm. And it just showed that they lost, like...
These niggas is trying to cut. They came up with a story like, oh, we gotta cut a couple of awards from being televised,
just like the Oscars.
And I'm like, y'all that broke that y'all can't afford to pay.
But it's because niggas not watching. Hour? That's why. Because niggas not ratings low. But they need to switch to some form of digital type stream, something. They need to switch. But nonetheless,
put that shit on Netflix. I guarantee y'all gonna get way more viewers.
Hell yeah!
Put that bitch on Hulu.
Pre-record that and then just drop it one. Or you could probably do it live on Netflix. Who knows? Netflix allows to probably do live shit or Hulu. Nonetheless,
and I'm pretty sure they'd be open to trying it.
Yeah, but don't give them niggas no ideas because they don't. They're so late to everything. But nonetheless, That and then so Drake gives that speech, which I think was super dope, and then J. Cole echoes it, and then Lupe echoes it. They both say great things about how the Grammys don't mean anything, and we've been saying that for years, but now it's just like they look archaic, and now it's to the point to where they're so behind that it's visible,
right?
And they try to do it by making up with certain things, but their making ups are just. It's not true making ups because they're still getting it wrong with things. Even though some people would say they got it right, I'd still say they got it wrong this year.
I also love the side conversation that's been happening since Cardi won Rap Album of the Year.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
All right, cool.
Let me finish up. Go
ahead.
I think the reason why he didn't win Album of the Year is because of that speech. Oh, yeah,
because of the speech for sure. Because... who the fuck is that?
The girl, Casey Musgrave's face said it all. I don't think she, like, people know when they're going to win, low-key, before these. I don't think she knew. And I think she was like, wait, what? Like, you can see it all over her face. And I think if Drake wouldn't have given that speech, he might have won Album of the Year. I know people can be like, nah, they're crazy. They determined this before. And I was like, it's like, no. If you think they're going to allow Drake to go up there and trash them, and then he wins Album of the Year, and you got to let him talk longer, what is he going to say after you just cut him off?
Right.
Nah, they couldn't give that to him. They couldn't give it to Drake. But let's talk about Cardi. Cardi won Rap Album of the Year.
Bro. They've been going in about so I guess the rap game has changed, huh? Because now it's not, one person who writes majority of the songs on there. It's a collective Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, one debate was like, that's like saying you can't paint with one color. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to put other things in it. And then on the other side, it's like, so we giving out collective Rap Album of the Year now? Like, what type of shit is that? They're not a rap group. It's one person.
And then, okay, to that argument, I would say yes. To that argument, I have two responses. Pro Cardi's response would be, she performs this. Yes, people write. You can't give those words to just anybody, and it comes out to where it's like how Cardi did it. It's Cardi's personality behind those words and what she does away from rap that allows people to generate to that. Now, against Cardi, I don't think she should have won in the first place. Like, at all. I don't think she should have won. But we'll get to that. Let me give myself some bail and give us some bail. Cardi did have a great album when it comes to hits, and she tapped into a base into a core where she won an entire demographic. She might not have won the men, but every woman from all walks of life was happy that Cardi won, and they love that album.
I'm about to say, like, unless you were a bona fide, undeniably diehard Nicki fan,
yeah,
and like, because most of them that they be on there on those comments, they just love the drama.
Yeah, that's it.
But most of them got both of them fucking albums on their fucking
exactly.
And
know all the words to Bodak Yellow.
Right, they got all these girl songs and they got all Nicki songs. Y'all love both of them. Cut it out.
And then you also got to think Cardi got all the Spanish people as well. So and that's why I think in terms she won. And also I think the Grammys were trying to do the right thing with all the stuff that they got the slack from either last year or 2 years ago when the man was like, the women are doing, they were trying to make it more women friendly after the seemingly someone from the Oscars saying that women aren't doing enough, that's why they don't win, they need to make better music in a year where women made the best albums, arguably. I think that was a year of Solange when all that shit was going on. But do I think Cardi should have won? No, because the Grammys to me isn't a popular. We don't recognize people out of popularity.
Like a popularity contest.
Exactly. Like, if that's the case, then Cardi should have won for Billboard, VMA. Like, those are the things that we do by stats.
Right.
If we're talking about artistic, and yes, art is personal preference, but if we're looking at it from a creativity and from what is just art, there's no way you can't tell me Nip and Mac Miller are below Cardi B from an artistic standpoint of which is a better album. Those two albums, artistically and creatively, are better albums than Cardi's. Even Pushes to a certain extent.
Like, it was confusing to me that it was. I don't even understand how she was on one for two, like one or two top of those
exactly
that category.
And as someone who pursued music at a point, performed at South by Southwest, had aspirations of being in the music industry as an artist, and dreamed growing up of Grammys to a certain extent. I always thought it was a thing of who made the best work and who it's popular, it's best, and I know best is subjective, and I want to keep saying that, and that's why I say that it hit a demographic that thought it was the best. But if you look at from lyrical standpoint, and how you judge some of these criteria, and just Cardi's album was surface level at best, and that's not a dig at anybody who loves that album. But if you look at Swimming, if you look at Nip's album, I'm forgetting Victory Lap. Yeah. If you look at Victory Lap or Swimming, both those albums go underneath the surface and tell a story. Yes, some people will say, well, Victory Lap, we heard it with Good Kid, Mad City. I was like, no, but Nip is talking about being a black entrepreneur and coming up from the struggle and preaching from that route. And I know people say, well, that's 444. No, it's different. It's his personality, Compton, and telling his story and him growing up. And Swimming is a whole different deep dive on love and just coming back out of heart. What is Cardi's album more than we got more than just everything we hear currently? And then if we want to get really into it, Rhapsody, if we want to talk about a female rapper who gives that, why isn't Rhapsody nominated and why isn't Rhapsody won?
And it doesn't make any sense. Like, even I'm gonna take a dig at him because I got to. That Chance the Rapper beat on there was one of the most basic shits he's ever put together.
Facts.
And that was one of I think that was the 4th single on that album. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, literally one of the most basic, from an artistic standpoint, scratching the surface, Swimming on an artistic as a musician surpasses all of those albums. I don't understand.
And then Bodak Yellow is a copy of a Kodak Black song,
right?
Most of the intro was a copy of a Meek song. You have most of that was copies of other people's songs, but just not written by Cardi, but performed by Cardi. Right. See, that's where I have problems with it. If we're gonna, and yes, we started this by saying the Grammys don't matter, but I'm saying if we're gonna hold people to this, what the standard should be, it should have been Nipsey, or it should have been Mac, or it should have been Travis for Astroworld. And if you want to look at from a popularity standpoint, if you want to mix popularity with both creativity and good art, Travis passes. Travis has everything. Yeah. Travis has the thing that you want with Cardi, but he has the thing that you want with Nipsey and Mac as well. So Travis should have won as well. It just looks like, oh, we had to do this more so than we're giving.
We got to do this for the women.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to take no shots at women because, like I said, if the real winner that y'all should have gotten was Rhapsody last year or 2 years ago, whenever her album was out, because that's what should have won. That album was great, but nonetheless, that's the Grammys. Really, the bigger conversation that's been happening on Twitter is what is still involving Cardi and Offset, is how Offset was handling himself at the Grammys. Did you think he kind of took some away from Cardi's shine, that he tried to make it more about him and less about her? I know people were posting pictures of other men when their wives have won stuff. You see them stepping back, and it's men like Will, Denzel, all just great men stepping back, and you see him all up in the picture, doing his thing, then on the tongue and everything. Do you think Offset overshadowed Cardi, and how do we feel about the whole situation?
Well, first of all, can't nobody outshine a girl that's dressed like a clitoris. I don't know what the fuck that was. That shit look like something out of a Disney movie.
But this nigga's stupid.
This nigga was really all up in the photos. All I thought about was Diddy. Every time Biggie won an award for anything, this nigga was in the background, every time Biggie trying to give a speech, we had the BET Awards, and you in the background doing mad shit while he trying to take his acceptance speech. And I'm like, yo, Diddy, step back, nigga.
That was Offset.
That's literally all I seen. I was like, yo, Offset, step back.
He was like, we did this. Yeah.
Like
you
nigga,
know,
ad libbing her fucking yo. That shit was getting me so mad. I was trying to watch it on Twitter. I'm like, this nigga ad libbing her speech. This is why I don't watch award shows, because niggas do shit like this, man. I'm like, what the fuck he doing back there? That shit,
Mama.
That shit blew my mind. But yeah, he was definitely trying to take away from her shine for no reason. Like, I don't understand what his reasoning behind that was.
I wish one of those memers would have Cardi's speech and take away all the real shit that he said behind it, and would put all the Migos things like Offset, Mama, like yeah, shit like just all the bro, all the ad libs. But now, yeah, and I seen women just been like, men, this is not how you do it, and I kind of have to agree with them. Like, I don't know if that's me if I go up there with her for her speech. If anything, you gonna see me like, you may see me just because the award show, they love to set that type of shit up. You may see me in the camera a bunch of times, like them cutting away to me. But I don't know if I'm going on stage. That's just because they all up in my face just because she won and I didn't go up there. Yeah, so they like, damn, I gotta get this thing on camera. But if I would walk her up there and then walk back to my seat, like I would definitely do that. Like, walk her up there and then go back to my seat. Or if I had to stand up where she was like, be there, I would stand so far in the back to where it's like, nah, it's about you. Like when people got their pictures on the newspaper type shit, I'm in the background and I'm damn near blurred out. Yeah, because facts. I'm that far back while she giving her speech. Facts. Why am I standing right there, all up in the fucking way? I didn't win. I can't even say nothing about that because it's just like Offset was kind of wrong in that, and like I'm not hating on the tongue thing, because like that was him like just in the moment, like you said, the camera was just on him and he was looking at his girl like, yeah, babe, like I wanna give you this pipe tonight, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about the other stuff, the pictures and the on stage stuff that I saw a lot of females talking about. Next up, I'm gonna bring something from last week because we about to get a little sad. We're gonna do all the sad stuff together. What's up with Liam Neeson, fam? Bro, honestly, I saw it and I was like, all right, old white man. There's always that's what I thought at first. High probability that I saw the video. He could be racist, Yeah. But when I listened to the interview, I was like, bro, honestly, from the context of this interview, you didn't even need to say that. You should have kept that. You could have kept it pushing with the first part of your answer, like, yeah, I was really against it, after such and such and such, or... But Shubert was so bald. We talked about it. We mentioned it on Bros Who Binge. He was like, I know y'all didn't talk about this last week because y'all didn't have an episode, but he was like, bro, that he did not need to say that at all. Take that shit with you to the grave, my son. I was looking for somebody to have a go with me. Like, I was going to kill... Like he was just looking for random people. Like, he didn't ask her no name, how he looked. He was just like, I was just walking down the street, and if I saw any black bastard, and he said black bastard, I was just gonna kill him. I was just gonna provoke it to kill him because he knew that's what makes it worse. He was gonna provoke him to kill him or do harm because he knew he would be in the right due to who he is and just how the system treats that shit. And he said all that shit. And I'm like, yo, you're bugging. And I really hope you don't think the Kanye effect is gonna work and you're gonna try to put out another Taken and we gonna watch it. Because I'm telling you right now, big dog, you canceled. You're canceled. But the thing is, what makes it even worse, we wasn't even checking for no Liam Neeson movies to begin with. Because he trash. Facts. And it's just like, to me, in the fact that he didn't think that was racist, Robin Williams, and I know you got Robin Wright, the person who interviewed him on Good Morning America. I know when you do this type of thing, you have to be polite. But she could have been, if you look at she could have said the definition of racism and explained. You can't, to me, as a journalist, it's your job to, by letting that go and him saying that that's not racist and you not saying anything, to me, you're not doing your job of enlightening the masses to the truth into what, because that's false. The fact, by definition, what racism is, what he did, that's racism, or at least if not by definition, he definitely stereotyped and he definitely what's the word I'm looking for? He what that police do when they drop in the, he had precognitive, whatever the word I'm looking for, he predetermined that these people were bad from the jump just from walking without having no knowledge of if that's the person that raped his friend. That shit was racist. That shit was racist. Fuck that. If what the KKK do is racist by going to find black people to provoke them
So they
It hang him, yeah. Like what's Liam?
What was the difference between that? Like,
and the way that he got his steam off was by power walking. He just like nigga, who power walks to be? Anytime you power walk, you stressed.
And that also shows to the fact that most of those morning shows are just fucking shows. Like, as much as we talk shit about some of these news stations, segments like 60 Minutes and like those late night reports. Some of them niggas is real journalists, and they will tear your ass up on national televised
and see 60
network shit.
I bet if that was 60 Minutes, he doesn't get away with that because 60
Hell
Minutes
no,
is
they
more
ate
in
him
depth.
up.
Yeah, and that's like
he'd have been stuttering on that bitch if they would have did that to him.
And see, news, when you say news, because of the fact that CNN and Fox and all these places you didn't used to do ads,
right?
And the moment they did ads and it became about ratings. It's not about real-time, unbiased, unfiltered, unprogrammed news.
It's
now
about who's donating. I mean, not donating. Who's sponsoring us the most? Who's giving the most
money?
Times?
Exactly. And we're gonna report a news that's suited to what our advertisers prefer because we gotta try to get ratings
and
to
we
pull
gotta
in.
Keep the money coming.
Yeah, we gotta keep the money coming. Exactly. So that's why it's. I just had more hope that Robin Wright would have did that because of the level of journalist she is, and that's not me discrediting her or anything like that. That's just me as someone who I'm not gonna even dare put myself on that level, but someone who has interviewed someone before. When I like, for example, Jason, we didn't stray away from what he said about Kaepernick, about Braun, about anything. We went at it, and he got at me, I got at him, but at the end of the day, we talked about it, and we had a conversation. Where you don't stray away from those moments because at the end of the day, I couldn't go to sleep with myself. Because I would think about that constantly.
I'd have been standing there, like, I'd have been in my bed, and that would have been just running through my mind.
Like, I didn't say
long.
Yeah.
Why didn't I say something?
Exactly.
I should have said something. Why'd I let him get away with that? Like,
and that's the worst when you let somebody do something and you don't do nothing about it, and then after you're so mad because you didn't do nothing.
Like, nah. That
I've been in them situations.
That should have kept me sleepless for at least a week.
And especially with like this shit, like that's not like normal life where like somebody does me something, I feel a responsibility because I have people listening that like. And the platform that she has on ABC,
major,
like it's
major.
Like, come on, Robin, but. Liam, you racist and you done. You out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You racist, done, out of here. Now, I want to talk about... before we get into I want to talk about sexual assault and all this with a bunch of cases because they got a lot of stuff. Before we get into that, turns out Jussie Smollett might not have been telling the truth. What you got to think about that? Because we came in here, we was and everybody know we was pro him. And I came with the conspiracy.
I was a little confused. I ain't gonna lie because a part of me, but I didn't want to be that guy at the time. A part of me was like, "Yo,
why is he out at 2 a.m. at Subway?"
He was at 2 a.m. going to get Subway. He was going to get a footlong eye, and some shit went left. They told him to go get some drugs. He was going to get the drugs.
No, wait, that's what you heard? They said on Reddit that he was messing with somebody, man.
Oh.
He was at the club messing with some other person, man, and that the boyfriend of the man he was messing with found out. He went get his boys and they tooted that ass up.
Oh, you know what? You can't even use it like that.
Then whoop that nigga ass.
Yeah, that's better. That's way better. But
the crazy thing is he walked inside the house with the noose. Like nobody, if you, I'm sorry, but if you have a hate crime done to you, and me as an African American, if somebody puts a noose around my neck and I live, I'm taking that shit off instantly.
I'm gonna walk home with that shit around my neck. Like
what the fuck? Like that don't even sound right.
And on top of that,
but the gay community in Reddit been getting on his ass.
The MAGA hat on the south side of Chicago at 2:00 in the morning. If you gonna tell me some bullshit, please don't add dumb details like that, because you're gonna just let me know that you trying to spice it up, and I can tell that you putting too much spice in the nigga. I know you lying now.
Let me give some credit to it was either Joe Budden or Star. I forget who said this, but the fact that he said a hate crime, okay, boom, we're gonna believe you. A hate crime because you're African American, we're gonna believe you. But you throw in the hate crime, I'm African American and I'm gay, you're getting the two loudest oppressed groups right now who are on the internet to back you up, and nobody's gonna question that. Mm-hmm. And it's when I found out that it may not be true, just the fact that it may not, it sucks because it's like, bro, you can't lie about something like that.
That's a
like,
really bad thing to lie about.
You cannot, like, no, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but that's something that, like, that affects everybody. If it comes to find out and this isn't true, this just gives racists more firepower about stuff about, black people always quick to do the race call. It just more ammo to those people, and it just puts an immediate halt in the social progress that we have made. You can't lie about shit like that. You just can't. And if it comes out that he's lying, he needs to be canceled. I'm so like
I am 110% behind that. Canceled. If that shit come out and it was a completely fabricated story, yeah, he's canceled.
Like, liars, we like, the initial claim we're fast to jump on, but we're never fast to jump on when it comes to find out that they're liars. This podcast specifically, we're going to talk a lot about that. I think liars need repercussions for their actions. They got to go to jail. This is I'm not going to say Jesse needs to go to jail, but he got to be canceled. Like, I don't know what you do in the situation, but you can't lie about a hate crime.
If there's somebody that I think should be punished for lying for a specific thing, it's when those girls accuse college football players of rape. Perfect. And end their fucking careers and their entire life's work.
Perfect segue.
That shit gets me so fucking hot. Yep. Because as somebody who has a little brother who the only way he would have made it out of his position would have been through that. Bro, I don't even know what I would have been thinking.
And I got a little brother. Shout out to my little brother playing D1 football now.
I saw that.
Shout out to Lynden going to UL playing D1. And that's something that women target. These football, DeAndre Francois, girl lied, got him kicked off of Florida State. Come to find out, it's not true. She said he raped him, beat him.
She was just mad at him.
And she was just mad, and she wanted to cause him pain and wanted to hurt him. Now this dude is kicked off his football team. We don't know if he's gonna make it to the NFL. We don't know if he's gonna play anywhere else in college. You see Chris Brown 3 weeks ago in Paris saying he got raped, saying some girl raped. He raped some girl. Comes to find out she lied, and then everybody was trying to cancel Chris Brown, saying he didn't learn from his mistake. This is harming people. You see Bow Wow everybody's like, Bow Wow beat his girl, but then comes to find out, you see the pictures, she whooped his ass. And it's just like, and I know that's a completely different situation from the DeAndre Francois and Chris Brown thing, but it's just, we gotta be, and I know we're in a time to where, yes, we gotta believe survivors. We gotta get these abusers all the way the fuck out of here. And you know, we're the first people to say, put them under the jailhouse. But at the same time, these women who lie need to be under the jailhouse with the rapists.
Right with the ass.
Yep. Because you're doing this shit. You're a manipulative, evil person. That's some evil, manipulative shit.
You're doing some shit just as bad as they are, because the type of emotional stress and stress y'all doing on these people that y'all leaving behind as victims is just as bad as what they do.
Yep, and they are DeAndre Francois, victim. Chris Brown is Chris Brown is a perpetrator and a victim at this point.
Right.
He's both. You gotta, and Bow Wow's and I know not everything's come out yet, but Bow Wow's a victim of domestic abuse. She abused, like, his face is
that shit looks painful.
And I know her story is that, and I don't want us to make it to where we're choosing a side. That's why I'm saying until more stuff comes out. But she said that you can't see her marks. He hit her in places. But then she said he was in a rage. I've been in a rage, and when I'm in a rage and I'm fighting, I'm not carefully thinking where I'm punching somebody so it don't show. If I'm in a rage and I'm fighting somebody, that nigga getting punched in his face.
He getting punched everywhere.
Like, it don't matter. And that's the thing, like. And I gotta applaud Bow Wow, because we don't applaud niggas when they do what we talk about always. He was a man. He just let her hit him, and he got out of that. That's what you're supposed to do. Either you leave or you just you take your ass with him. But I'm more of, I'm running away. Why are you punching me? I'm just running. I'm not getting my face scratched up.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but I'm not gonna
I'm running.
Stand.
No, I'm running.
Or slowly walk.
I'm running.
You beat my ass.
And then if we're in the car, I'm I don't care if somebody hit me. I'm getting hit and I'm taking the keys and I'm getting the fuck out and I'm calling the cops. I'm saying, look, somebody might have hit me because I slammed my brakes stupid, but that's because this bitch was beating me in my face and I had to stop the car because I will not hit a woman. Y'all not put me in jail. I'll take my problem for stopping and causing a wreck. But y'all better put this bitch in jail.
Put my insurance up.
Yeah, faggot. Put that shit all the way up. But come bring this bitch to jail. Like,
no.
But in terms of the lot, like, we gotta stop because
that shit is bad.
Y'all ruining lives, and this is not like you got to think about the men who go to jail for rape, and then comes to find out they were falsely accused and spent 20, 15, however. We've seen cases where a man was accused in 1960 and then doesn't get out till 2017. Like he spent his whole life like. And that woman needs to be in jail. Like, I don't care if she's 80 and is out of her house when that man. Bring that old bitch to jail. Bring her ass to jail. I don't give a fuck. Bring that bitch to jail, dog. I'm dead ass.
I hate that shit,
like,
dog.
Nah, bro. That's not funny. Cause
that shit is.
In terms of the demographic that it happens to us the most.
Right.
African American males. It happens to us the most. And like, that's not me I think it's bad to all. It don't matter who the fuck y'all. That shit is bad. But I'm just saying in terms of who it happens to the most, it happens to us the most. So like, as a black man, that shit's scary. And as a person who is against all that shit, it would break my heart if somebody like, what? My character? Like that assassinates someone's character and like their view, their view for the rest of their life.
I don't even know if I would be able to even stomach asking them, why'd you do it? Like, why'd you lie? Because I don't want to hear.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
what
to you.
What the fuck you gonna say? Like, I really don't. There's nothing you can say to justify it.
Facts. No, facts. 100%. So, DeAndre Francois, hold your head, brother. Chris Brown, he's selling a shirt that say that bitch lying, but that's a whole different. You think that's right? Because I seen people say that's wrong.
He taking this a little too far. Like, he could have went on a Twitter rant. I'd have been fine with a Twitter rant. He went on Instagram and been angry. Could have went on live and been angry. You feel me? But
this bitch lying.
Manufacturing and printing shirts. Chris, you wildin', bro.
To me, and look, he got all right to do it because she lied.
Right.
But to me, as Chris Brown, you got to take your platform a little bit more serious because, and I know people gonna say Lynden, this is PC as fuck, but nah, he has to because like, just hear this out, like. We know that you were right. We know that you were right. But there's a bunch of men out there in the world who are looking for things to promote that not supporting survivors and victims. They're looking to say that, oh, this bitch is lying. So when you make a shirt like that, in your situation, it's true. But not in all situations that's true.
Right.
And you're giving men who can use this as ammo, more ammo, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I didn't like that idea whatsoever. And you're right. And also, bro, your demographic is women.
Yeah, like that's another thing.
Men don't come to your concert.
And you gotta understand, you just got women back to really fucking with you.
Like I don't know any dude in a conversation that has come up to me like, yo, bro. You trying to go to that new Chris Brown concert?
I know too.
I'd have been like, what?
And he loved him some Chris Breezy, baby. I'm not gonna say your name, but you know who you are if you listen to this podcast.
I was like,
both you niggas know who y'all are.
What the fuck? Chris Brown concert? I'd have been like, no, nigga. Where's the next Jay-Z concert? So you trying to go to the A$AP Rocky concert? Chris Brown.
People say that to me about Drake, but nah, Drake be rapping.
I went to a Drake concert, so.
Shit fire.
I went to that Drake and Lil Wayne
damn,
joint.
You went to, that's the only one I ain't been to.
That shit was fire.
I've been to the Take Care Club Paradise. That nothing was the same. I missed the Drake versus Lil Wayne. Went to If You Reading This. And then I went to the Views, I think one. Which the one that was right before Views, but after If You're Reading This. So I've been to 4 Drake concerts.
That was the shit with Future?
Yeah, that one. Yep. The jungle shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was litty.
Oh, yeah,
so I seen Drake. So nah, them concerts crazy. But nah, yeah, man. Chris went a little too far. You gotta know your platform. Gotta know your platform.
Women is who you selling to, bro. Don't turn them against you again.
Now, ladies, I don't want y'all to think we just coming at y'all. No, Sheck Wes. This is happening this week. Sheck Wes Justine Sky came out and said that Sheck Wes is the man that has been physically abused her in the past. She said on her Breakfast Club interview in the past that someone was abusing her, but she didn't want to put out his name because she said his career was just taking off. She just wanted to kind of just release what she wanted at the time, and she has all right to say what she wants. But I'm guessing Sheck been doing too much. And GoldLink released a song talking about how Sheck beat his girl, because I'm guessing that's his girlfriend right now. So it's not looking good. And I know this is all alleged because Sheck Wes came out and said he didn't do it. And she posted a video of him jumping over the fence. And he was like, I was just jumping over the fence to get some stuff. But to me, if you just getting some stuff that you left, she should have let you in the house to get the stuff. You shouldn't have had to jump no fence. If
it just looked bad. Yeah, if you ended on mutual terms, should have been like, matter of fact, she might even have had the stuff ready outside, for you.
Especially if she disgruntled, she'd had your shit in trash bags at the front ready for you to get the fuck out.
Right. But instead, you had to sneak into the house. And that's when I was like, boy, you did something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did everything she's saying, but you did something.
Look,
because you hopping over fences, that's guilty right there. For me.
Me too.
You did something.
Me too.
I don't know what it is, but you did something, bro.
And that's all I want to say. Look, I support Justine Sky. We support Justine, and I'm not saying that Sheck did it or not, but I'm just saying I support her because you guilty of something. I don't know what it is.
Right, but that video definitely shows that you guilty of something.
And then also, I don't know if you saw the text that she had with OG Chase B, who is Travis's DJ and the dude who runs the record label with Travis. That's and she texted him that she was in her house with him, locked the door. She was terrified. Can somebody please come get him, because he was going on a rampage and she was scared for her life. And she said it was traumatized, and Chase B had to go send somebody to get him. So if she has text messages like that, I'm believing just like,
oh yeah, I'm definitely.
It don't matter if you hit her, you did her something.
Yeah, I'm like I'm
you did her something.
Quick to jump sides, but I'm jumping on Justine's side because that video and then the text messages, I'm like, nah, bro, you're wilding.
And the fact that like Chase was like, nah, we send somebody ASAP, don't worry. Like, it didn't seem like Chase was like denying it.
Like, he wasn't even like, what? He was just like, all right, bet, hold up, give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me go fetch one of these niggas to come get him.
Facts, and and that's not a good look for. I'm sure if this was wrong, Chase B and Travis would have made statement, but Chase B and Travis haven't said anything.
Right.
And Sheck Wes is signed to their label, and I'm sure Travis doesn't need any more bad press after the Super Bowl shit. So we're gonna see how this plays out in a couple weeks. Next up, we got. Oh, this is another sad thing. Before we're gonna get all this. This is not even sad. This is just the racist shit. We could tie all this in with something that happened last week. So we got. The topic of blackface has been going around. We've said our thoughts about blackface on this show multiple times. We talked about the Halloween stuff, but we just feel blackface is racist.
Right.
There's a way to dress up as people without being racist. We've talked about it. Like, we talked about.
You don't need to paint your face.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. And we see last week Florida governors and then other Democrats and other people from Republican and Democrats. We got to call a spade. Both. We're seeing in their yearbooks of old.
Yeah, it was like a Virginia Democrat governor or something like that.
And some North Carolina people having blackface. And I saw one where it had white people dressed up as the KKK and had a black person with a noose around his neck, and they was taking pictures smiling. Like, what the nigga was in there. Like what kind of cool is you, brother? Like, to what you was doing there.
That picture was the craziest.
That shit was wild.
I really had to, I was like, nah, I'm bugging, bro. I gotta refresh this page.
I had to make sure that wasn't a white dude. No, but that was a nigga. That was a brother.
I needed to light one up after I saw that shit. I was like, nah, he's bugging. Like,
but I think, and I know Republicans have been using this as like Democrats not calling out Democrats. Everybody's wrong. Get the Democrats out. Get the Republican governor. Get anybody who's been found out with blackface. They all wrong. It doesn't. Republican listeners, if we have any, and I know we probably have a lot of Democrat listeners, but Lynden calls a spade a spade. I am an independent. I don't associate with a party. Anybody that I call wrong is wrong. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, green, blue. That could have been a purple person. If he played his face, nigga, you wrong.
Right, like, bro.
Nigga, you already purple. Why the fuck you doing that shit, nigga?
For me, it's like, if you don't look like that person, you don't look like that person, okay? You putting brown makeup or black makeup on your face isn't gonna change nothing. It's like, it's the same shit. Like, if you put a fucking Cowboys hat and some Timbs on the old Dallas Cowboys quarterback, what's that nigga's name? Troy Aikman. He's gonna look like Jay-Z. Because he looked like him. Yeah. It don't matter. Without painting his face, if you put some Timbs and a Yankee hat and a baggy ass jeans jacket or jeans shirt on this nigga,
jersey,
he would look just like Jigga Man. Okay? He don't need no fucking paint. You don't look like Beyonce just because you put all that shit on your face.
I see where you going.
You still look like a white Becky with a bad spray tan, like a Trump tan, nigga. Like you still look stupid. You don't look like that.
And Shubert wanted us to talk about this last week. He was like, "Are y'all gonna call out the gym?" Yeah, hell yeah, we calling out both. Get them both the fuck out of here. And that's why I told him, I was like, with that. I don't play like both of them. He was like, "You right. They both gotta go. Both of them, get them the fuck out of here." And speaking on that, we see Gucci making and to me. And I know when I say this, people gonna be like, "But Lynden, it's wrong no matter what." But wait till I'm gonna get to what I gotta say in a second. But Gucci puts out the little ski mask thing where it's a direct representation of the old black cartoons where they used to make fun of black people. We see Gucci has that. I think it was another, a couple other brands like Morial or something with an M, another brand. But Gucci and Prada were the main ones. And we see T.I. and a bunch of other celebrities come out and boycott. And then we see Floyd Mayweather cooning saying that I'm still buying Gucci. We see Antonio Brown saying we can't really tell if that's rate. Like, don't jump to conclude. Like, the niggas just cooning. What you think about Gucci? Is this a big deal?
Not for me, because I ain't never bought no Gucci in my life.
That's why I'm about to go with it.
So
most I ever bought was Gucci perfume for like a girlfriend or my mom, but like that's over with. That's done. Like, you don't. It's over.
Y'all was expensive for me anyway, so fuck y'all.
Exactly.
So y'all doing shit like that. I mean, that was most of y'all clientele anyways.
Was just rich people. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's wealthy African Americans who promote that clientele. I know a bunch of white people buy Gucci, of course, but I'm just saying in terms of African Americans who buy it, it's just wealthy people. So you're gonna lose the clientele. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. But to me, it's middle class citizens and lower class citizens don't have to worry about this, but Floyd cooning, man.
Oh yeah, he's big cooning.
There's so many good, and I saw Jay-Z. He gets his stuff tailor made by a black there's so many good black designers who can tailor made just make your stuff and make just as well quality stuff. Like, you don't have to get good. Like,
bro, it's that's a fact, because I knew. Shout out to my girl Cheyenne. I had a friend that her dad and his company, they tailor made suits for Obama. Like, see, I don't understand. Like
the riches are like find other people who like they don't buy you don't have to get the Gucci stuff is just for people who want to be rich and people who just finally get a bunch of money to like show that they have money. Like, if you look at really wealthy people, they get their shit handmade.
Like, and if you think about it, on top of that too, y'all the rich ones, y'all got enough money to go to these countries where they got these sweatshops where they got these people working for like 30 cents a day. Making them clothes, bro. Like, because when they took you to try to get you a clothes deal, they took you over there, and I know you saw that shit.
Exactly.
I've never seen it personally, but I know y'all have, so you should even feel terrible that you was supporting them in the first place.
Facts. So get Gucci the fuck out of here. Get them governors and that's easy.
Everybody gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Them get the governors, the senators, all Democrat, Republican, no matter who the fuck you get. Blackface, get them the fuck out of here. Get Gucci, Prada, Morial, whatever the hell. Get them the fuck out of here and get Liam Neeson the fuck out of here. And don't worry, if Jussie Smollett is lying, we will get him the fuck out of here as well. We talked about the Grammys. We talked about Liam Neeson, 21 Savage, Bow Wow, Art, Gucci. All right, we only got a couple other things left we got to get into. All right, next up, where you want to go? Dame Dash? You want to go with some weird shit? You want to go with Dame Dash, or you want to talk hoops? Well, hoops is going to be last before we get into Bros Who Ball.
Let's do the weird shit.
All right, weird shit for the week. Half sisters were competing to have sex with their father. The police got wind of it after one of them won the competition and had sex with their father. They ended up arresting all three. They were competing to see who would be the bride of the father by doing sexual favors and all that type of stuff. Police got wind of it and arrested them with incest.
Well, where was this?
I believe this was in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. If you'd asked me last week, I'd have had the exact place. But it was either Texas or Florida. It was one of them.
Oh, shit. But you know what's funny, though? I'll keep it a bug with you, bro. I knew it was from the Sun Belt of the country. You know why? Because you only do shit like that in certain areas. And it just had to be the Sun Belt region of the country. Because there's no way. There's no way they're doing that up in the north. It's too cold right now to be doing no weird shit like that. Where too cold.
The West, they smoking too much weed to be doing
Exactly.
shit like
So it had to be this area.
or the North Dakota, the plains.
You're right.
One of the, wherever
They got cabin fever, so all they see is the same persons over and over again. They can't go outside.
But yeah, bro, they fought. The half sisters fought to see who would be the father's new girlfriend. They was fighting.
So the mom was like,
I don't know what she was. She wasn't in the story when I read it, but it was just the two half sisters.
I don't, you know,
fighting and doing
I
sexual
hope
favors.
the mom just like was at work or something.
In his half sister, there's two moms.
Right. So I'm thinking like
He might be divorced, and but these girls are like 20 something. That's another curveball. They're not like it's not like one of molested. No, they chose 20 something years old. They was trying to have sex with their dad. They was trying to be like.
Look, I seen something on Twitter like
shit was weird
a couple hours ago. Stop learning about sex from Pornhub. Cause y'all really starting to wild the fuck out. Okay?
You can't have sex with your sister.
Like
porn, I know Pornhub be doing
the
that.
fuck out, boy. Like
the brazzers.
I need y'all to like stop watching the intros, alright? Stop watching the intros. Cause y'all tripping right now, bro. Y'all really tripping. I need y'all to realize that is not okay in the real world. You need consent in the real world. You cannot sleep with your brother or your sister in the real world.
Upset aunt sleeps with nephew.
Right, like I need y'all
Brazzers.
to chill. Alright? I'm not condemning y'all from being y'all meat. I'm not condemning y'all from, getting your rocks off. But I need you to realize that this is not the fucking real world.
You won't break into somebody's house and the bitch won't ask you to fuck.
Right, like I need y'all to differentiate the difference, please. Fantasy is fantasy, and the real world is a real world. Y'all really bugging now, because that's strange, Lyn.
I know that's wild.
What the fuck?
They fought, and they was banging, and the police, like, the crazy thing is they got caught doing it. Like, how the police got wind of it?
Did they get tipped off from the other girl?
I don't know.
They lost? Like, she was salty?
I feel like they got tipped off. They said from, like, neighbors or, like, from anonymous tips. Like, I don't know.
Maybe one of their friends caught wind of it and was like, all right, I don't give a fuck which one of you bitches win.
I thought that,
the cops.
Yo, real nigga shit, I'm gonna say this. I knew incest was always legal, but I thought it was one of those illegal, it's frowned. I didn't know niggas go to jail for that shit.
Right.
Like,
that too. I thought it was one of those taboo, we don't speak of
like,
it
you just
type
don't
shit.
do it. Like,
you should just know that you shouldn't do it. You feel me?
I didn't know niggas go to jail for that shit. That's crazy, but send they crazy asses to jail. Bye.
Like, y'all some freaks.
Next up, we got. Do we care about this? Dame Dash apologized. I put this on there because you're a New Yorker.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was.
It was real weird.
I went on Star in the Star Report and I talked. He brought me on the show. I was on there for like 5 minutes. You can go check it out on the Star Report at the end. But he asked the question. It was, should we care about Dame? And I was just like, I don't know. It seemed not sincere.
Yeah, no, it seemed like somebody, like, when somebody forced you to apologize to somebody in, like, the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Like,
and it didn't seem sincere. And the thing is, okay, cool. You can apologize, but, like, bro, I don't, like, after everything you said about Lior, like, you shouldn't have mentioned, like, and I get it.
He went way too far.
Yeah, it's like, people saying you're trying to be a bigger man, you can change, blah, blah, but the way the apology was, first off, and then having Lior in it after you just made a book called Culture Vultures and you just badmouthed this man for like months and that was all you like, I don't believe it, and I don't think that was, it just seemed like he was forced to do that. Now, right. I do think the Jay-Z stuff, I feel like he wants to get back and hold, like, he saw the pictures to the Rock Nation brunch and he was sad.
Like, I mean,
Biggs back. Biggs, like, see, before Biggs was in jail and he didn't, like, it wasn't like the whole old crew was to get, like, he didn't have that, like,
exactly.
Now that Biggs is there, it's the whole crew,
damn,
but
I'm
him.
missing the dynamic. You feel me? Like, yeah, that nigga's wildin', bro. I don't think anybody believes that fucking apology, but
you think Jay-Z and him piece it up and we see a Dame at the Rock Nation brunch in 2021?
2022, maybe 2023.
You think it's gonna take about 3 years?
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Flex said he forgave him, and Flex said that your face.
We don't fuck with Flex, man.
Oh, you don't fuck with Flex?
Flex is a yes man.
Yeah, no, you
Flex
right.
Flex is a big yes man.
No, that's true. And crazy. I know we didn't talk about this because it was some New York shit, but they passed the law basically about children who molest. In this, I'm gonna tie it all to flex. Children who molested can come out and get claims for criminal charges. I think up to 20 years after it happened, and then there's an amount of time after it happened you could do criminal or civil, and they passed some law that it could you could go up to whatever time for I think civil, and that all tied into the African Bambaataa stuff about how Bambaataa was molesting little kids allegedly in the early 80s and all that hip hop stuff. And Flex took up for Bambaataa over one of the survivors, Ronald Savage, and that just goes to just what you say. He's just a yes man. He don't do what's right, and I don't know.
He's just like, this is gonna bring more people to my page.
Exactly. That's
get my name trending.
He did all that just for ratings, and
he wildin', bro.
And if Red Alert wasn't on that show, he was gonna really say some shit that would have affected Hot 97 for him talking about, because. Don't know if
Red Alert been saving his ass for decades.
Facts. We don't know if Bambaataa did that or not. And you jumping out the window for him? What if he did that?
That nigga Red was probably looking at him like.
And the reason why we didn't talk about that on this show is because I know that's a lot of our listeners probably have no idea what we're talking about. And justice did happen because that law got passed and it's getting resolved. And that's some OG stuff. But I just wanted to bring that up in terms of Flex. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you some of this Dame Dash stuff because you're a New Yorker. Keep you interested, in the New York vibe. Gotta see what you think, because I know people down south don't know, but I gotta know what's going on in the world. I ask you, what's your New York opinion? No dating stuff this week. Instead, we're gonna do an early conversation about basketball real quick before we get into Bros Who Ball. No dating really, cause nothing too.
Ain't nothing going wrong. I feel that.
And then the fans ain't really sent no questions.
Shout out to 2019, man.
There hasn't been too many conversations on the internet. We talked about the early one about men upstaging women. That's the only one that's been going on really. Right. If we get some more, like I said, we'll bring them in as soon as we get them, because we like to be realistic. But man, Pelicans didn't make the trade. Told you niggas. I told y'all they was, and more specifically Cam.
I know was wilding, yo. He was really wilding, because I knew that they wasn't gonna make that trade. If they was gonna make a trade, it would have been for KP. But once the Mavs made their deal, I was like, all right.
Yep.
He's staying on the Pels
until either the Knicks know if they get the first round pick, or until Boston can make a deal.
Right. Like, I can see something happen in the offseason, but I can't see nothing happening right now.
And what made me so mad was that every Laker fan and everybody in the NBA people had agendas, and they really wanted to make the Pelicans look like the bad guys. And now everybody's like, "Oh, y'all should have traded Anthony." What? No, make that nigga sit out like that. I hate that about the NBA, that they're making us play Anthony Davis, and that they came out and said, "Oh, we're not gonna find y'all," but y'all know y'all said y'all was gonna find us if we didn't play. You're hurting the team. The fans don't want to watch it. The team was doing better without him.
Yeah, this shit
it's his fault.
The chemistry right now in New Orleans is bad because of that shit. Like,
same thing with the Lakers, because them young boys do not want to play for LeBron.
You can't offer no. First of all, the fact that y'all was trying to offer
the whole team,
the roster,
the whole team,
like the only people that weren't in the fucking trade was the niggas on the back end of the roster
on the 1 year deals.
You can't put up half of the starters
and expect them to want to play for you. Like, how is Kuzma supposed to look at LeBron like, yeah, bro, we bros. And he know that AD.
I was like the centerpiece in the trade. I can't look at you the same.
The whole thing is that really fucks everything up to me. And people don't like to admit this, and they always like to say that it's good. And I love that we see LeBron do this. But in terms of if I was an athlete, this is kind of fucked up if you play on this team and any move happens with a player of this organization. He owns Clutch Sports. Right. Like, I'm sorry. Rich Paul isn't running. Like, you got to think, the man who signs the checks. Like, it's LeBron. Like, that. Like, I don't know how that's legal in the league. I don't know how that's legal.
Because you know what it was? There wasn't no fucking rule, because they never thought nobody was going to do it.
Bro, like, that's...
And then by the time he did it, they was like, well, shit. We can't make a rule now. Check. Fuck, man.
Like, he legit signs the check. He sets up this, like, and if I'm Anthony Davis, I have to think, at least at this point, does my agency have what my best interest in mind, or is it more about LeBron?
Right.
Like, if I'm anybody with Clutch, I think that.
What I think is gonna happen is LeBron gonna retire, and then they're gonna make a rule about it, to not let it happen again. It's gonna be called like the LeBron James rule
Probably
type
so.
shit. Like it's gonna be one of them things where they're gonna have to wait for him to retire because he did some sneaky shit. There wasn't no rule against it because they never thought a player would be making that kind of money.
Yeah.
And then because like obviously we know the icon that Jordan is, but let's keep it a buck. At the height of his career, he wasn't making the money that LeBron's seeing right now.
No, and I know Jordan owned a team, but I'm sure by the time LeBron finishes, he can own a team as well.
Right, like
people are making crazy money right now.
Right, so they were never thinking one of them was gonna get enough money to open up his own fucking agency.
To where
to get and be able to recruit players in different leagues.
How is a player able to own an agency that's not only wheeling and dealing players in the league, but he is able to, as the owner of, and I know he said he went to watch it as a fan, but you're in a bidding war right now for Zion against Jay-Z. Like, he's at the game, and then at that time, if you're Magic Johnson, who's running your team? Is it LeBron with all of these players? Or is it you?
Like, shit is crazy, bro.
It's wild. Like, that's some Game of Thrones shit. Like, that shit is wild.
He changing the game on numerous surfaces. Like, who the fuck would think that this would even be a fucking problem?
No, and like I said, off the court, the man that LeBron is, love it. I love that he's a businessman. But me as a fan of these athletes, it's like, my athlete mind, I don't know if I like the fact that, like, I can support Kuzma and all. Like, I understand where Kuzma's come from. That's what I'm basically saying. Like, Kuzma, Zoe, and all them. Like, how can you play for him and believe it's a brotherhood, pick everybody up, but you don't even want to wait for us to develop, or you don't want to give us a shot. You trying to trade everybody right now for AD. Well, get AD, and if it don't work, well, I don't fuck you. I don't want to play with you. I'm gonna just wait till I get traded. Or if I don't get traded, suck my dick, nigga. Like, you gonna trade me eventually? And D'Angelo Russell came out and said the best thing that happened to him was he's glad he left, because if not, he'd have been in this situation. And you see, he's an all-star right now. And Tatum, I know I'm getting a little early, but it could be, I'm going to save my point. I'm going to talk more about that at Bros Ball, but let me just say this. It might be best for Tatum's career if he left the Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
What you think about basketball right now? We got Philly moves. I'm just going to get your brief thoughts.
I definitely love the Philly move. I know a lot of people are like, what the fuck does Tobias bring to the, you know what I'm saying? They're like,
Tobias made the Clippers
a lot
what
of
they
people
were.
are like, oh, I think it keeps the dimension the same. They don't really make them that much better. And then they come out and they guns blazing and they balling right now.
And Tobias can shoot. That's the thing. He can shoot. Like, now you have JJ Redick, Butler, and Tobias who can all create their own shot from three.
And you got, because honestly, it's spreading that floor out, because we know Ben not gonna develop that shot. I'm not even waiting for that to happen.
Although he did shoot a three against LeBron, because LeBron was all the way in the paint and he had to, because it was embarrassing. Jesus.
He really did like completely try to disgrace his manhood. Like, he's like, bro, shoot it.
Yeah, just let's see what you got, nigga.
Yeah.
Bet. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Philly is the real deal now.
Oh yeah.
No, I just want to see what you thought about hoops.
And I like the that little story that's, like, brewing behind Paul George about, like how his journey's finally coming full circle since he had that crazy ass leg injury.
Facts.
I really fuck with that shit for real.
Yo, Paul George is an MVP candidate right now.
Oh, yeah.
And like, if you ask me who's leading OKC, it's him. It's not Russ.
That's a fact.
Like, Paul George is playing out of his mind, and like, they're looking like one of the best teams in the West right now. Real shit. Because the Warriors are beatable, like it seems.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To me, but the East is going to be a damn fun playoff, because you got to think Toronto added Marc Gasol, so they got them a little...
They may have me watching from the first round.
Exactly.
And I don't think I say that much years.
Like, Philly, and then the Bucks with Mirotic. I know people don't think... But, like, look, Bledsoe, Middleton, Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez, and Mirotic, that's a solid-ass lineup.
Oh, yeah, bro. They balling.
Against Marc Gasol, Ibaka, Kawhi Leonard, and Danny Green and Kyle Lowry, or you could put Siakam in there. See, they got a bench. The Raptors got a fucking bench with Siakam and Anunoby, or whatever his name is. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And then we don't know what's going to happen with the Celtics. Like, and the Celtics show that they could always beat the 76ers. Just doesn't seem like they can beat the Celtics.
Right. And another thing, though, even though I want to say it, I gotta take it back. The Warriors look beatable on any given night.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
gonna lose a 7-game series.
Best of 7 series beatable just yet.
Yeah, true. But I will say this. The 76ers can match up. They're the first team that has now acquired 4 superstars that you could argue might not be as good as the Warriors 4, but they can match up just as well, and they might not be that can shoot, but they're long and they can switch and they can all guard multiple positions. And they don't have Draymond now is a weak link for the Warriors because he can't shoot threes, but we'll see if Boogie picks them up in that. We got to see how that works.
Another part of me is still I'm not trying to play JJ Redick, but yeah,
that too. But he is a good shooter.
He's defensively
weak. He can't guard
playing
Clay.
Against that Warriors. He's not gonna be able to guard Clay or Curry. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna have to guard Clay,
right?
Because I'm guessing. Well, you put Butler on KD. You put Simmons. See, Simmons is weird, man. Who you put Simmons? You put Simmons on Clay?
Simmons on Clay, yeah, because
you put Simmons on Curry. Because I don't want to put Redick on Curry.
That's what I'm saying. But
how good a defender is Tobias?
JJ to guard then.
You might have to put JJ on Draymond and just give help in case he go to the post.
I'm going to the post every fucking play.
What are we giving? Oh yeah, you can't give help with the war. You right? Damn. JJ has to guard Clay or Curry, and then you put Simmons on whoever else is the opposite.
If Dre,
Tobias got to play help.
That would allow Dre to run the whole game from the post.
Yep.
He's passing out. He having a triple fucking double.
Yeah, you got to put Tobias on him and then let Tobias shade off and give help and force Draymond to shoot. But that would be an interesting matchup if that's the finals because. Who does Ben Simmons guard? And is Tobias Harris a better defender than Ben Simmons? And if that's the case, does Tobias have to guard Curry or Clay? And I don't know if that works.
That's why a part of me is I don't care how good he is. He would have to.
Because Jimmy got to guard KD.
And Tobias has to guard Draymond for me. He has to guard Draymond.
And Embiid got to guard.
I need Simmons, who's faster, to guard either Clay or Curry.
And it's got to be Clay. Because Clay would bang up JJ Redick in the post. But you're right, JJ Redick can't run with Curry, man.
He can't.
That's the mismatch, and that's a bad mismatch.
That's a real bad mismatch.
That's a real bad.
But when you think about it, if you got a bad mismatch on Clay, this nigga is scoring 60 points, dribbling the ball 11 times.
Yeah,
okay?
True. That's
true. He ain't gotta be bringing the ball up court to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
He ain't even gotta really dribble.
No, he can just get off the screen and boop. And if you're not
getting around the screen, for me, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup for sure. Ooh, this is gonna be a good playoffs. I'm excited, even though the Pelicans aren't winning, and that makes me sad. LSU basketball is great.
Yeah,
I will be getting into that later on Bros Who Ball. A lot of good basketball talk, but I had to get my boy Brooklyn's thoughts before we get in. Bringing in Justin and Shubert this week.
Oh shit.
No interview this week. We will have some more interviews starting next week and the weeks after. Just wanted to do a quick discussion with my bros, but no ads this week. But I will say in the space that an ad would go, Bros Who Think is now on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. We're now on Twitch and YouTube. Look, if you follow us and you've been listening to us on SoundCloud and you're like, I don't really like SoundCloud, you can now listen to us either on YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. But be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Bros Who Think Network, and make sure you subscribe. Right now, there's the most recent Prime Time, the most recent Anime Talk, and the most recent Bros Who Think Podcast. This podcast will be on there, as well as Bros Who Binge, and everything going forward will be on YouTube until we switch to video. And if you follow us, Anime Talk, you're a big gamer, and you want to see Brooklyn get his ass whooping 2K. You want to see Krista get his ass whooping Jump Force. You want to see Shubert get his ass whooping 2K. Come watch us stream. We will be streaming video games. Follow us on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that's the ad. Just a little self-promotion. But now, let's get into Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that sound means. It means it's time once again for another edition of Bros Who Ball. I know earlier in the show I said Justin would be joining us. Justin had a late minute of emergency that he had to tend to. Otherwise, our guy would be here. But it is still nonetheless me and my loyal co-host and the host of Bros Who Binge, Adam Shubert. Shuby, how you doing, brother?
What's up, man? There's been a lot of stuff going on, and too bad we didn't get a chance to dive in last week because it was a big sports week, man. The Super Bowl wrapped up, trade deadline.
Yeah, we had a lot we get into, and I talked shit on y'all in the beginning of the pod. Brooklyn knows, and I told Brooklyn about the stuff that you wanted us to talk about, like Liam Neeson and those Democrats that did blackface. So we talked about all that stuff. That don't worry, we got you covered from last week.
Yeah, man, that junk's crazy. I've been hearing it all week.
Bruh. But like we say with any other show, we're not here to talk politics because we did that in the beginning portion. Now it's time to talk sports. And like Shubert said, we got a lot to get into. So before we get to basketball, because that's mainly what our focus of this episode is going to be, let's talk a couple of football stories because the NFL got dominated the week of Super Bowl. The headlines were not about the Super Bowl. It was about Anthony Davis and everything going on, trade deadline. The Super Bowl happens. Shubert, what were your thoughts of that said Super Bowl? New Orleans did a boycott, and the boycott was successful, seeing the lowest ratings in Super Bowl history when it comes total history, but also the lowest ratings when it comes to Louisianans watching it. I didn't watch it. I went to a Super Bowl party, but it was more so for my friends going away because he's going to the Army. Salute to my homie JJ. Good luck to your brother. We love you. But I went to his party, but I didn't really watch the game. I was more so outside talking to my homies. What'd you think of the game?
Shout out to the New Orleans fans, to everyone who lived here for that second line parade. It was the largest second line of all time, apparently. It was a giant party on Super Bowl Sunday during the day before the game. It was less about protesting the game and more about celebrating that team and the season and just how they had a great year and it didn't go their way, and you got to look to next year. I'm
glad that was the vibe. I'm glad that was the vibe in the city of New Orleans because if you look at Louisiana Twitter, the vibe was boycott the game.
Oh, I mean, there were definitely boycott parties going on all day, and there was also the concert that was going on during the Super Bowl that was at Champion Square.
Oh yeah.
So there was definitely plenty of boycotting going on in the city of New Orleans, but it was not too much haste and more promoting loving the team.
Yeah, for sure. But you watched the game. What were your thoughts of the game? I did.
Man, it was boring.
It was a bad game.
Yeah, it was boring, man. And it just really made you question a lot whether are these defenses really that good, or did one side come out to play and the other side not come out to play? I almost feel like the defenses just got super psyched up and the offenses just got so psyched out that they just didn't perform. Tom Brady, I think, did the best to his ability, and I think the Rams defense is actually just really good, but he made the Tom Brady plays, and that's all he needed to do. I mean, that's what it came down to the end of the day, and Jared Goff on the other side couldn't make those plays. So it just kind of questions where he is in this whole ranking of quarterback situation, but
see, that's something that
Tom Brady.
That's something that we knew going into the game, that I think this game goes down to, and everybody all season was talking, is it Tom Brady's greatness, Belichick's greatness? This game shows Belichick's greatness. He put the ball in Jared Goff's hand and said, beat us. And Jared Goff couldn't beat him. And I think Todd Gurley was hurt because if you look at the stats, the amount of touches Todd Gurley got and how ineffective he was in that game, it's not Sean McVay, and that shows how good of a coach Sean McVay is, that he's taking the rap and saying that it was his play calling and not putting it on his player. But there's no way Todd Gurley wasn't hurt. If he wasn't, that means Sean McVay isn't the coach that we thought he was.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that the Rams kind of really just got lost in the moment, and they were kind of, the narrative all week wasn't about them, and I don't know if they ever thought that they deserved to be there.
Yeah, man, that's one thing. That's another thing. We didn't even touch on Roger Goodell, and we touched on it a little bit 2 weeks ago, but Roger came out and he was talking and saying how there was no way he was going to make him replay that game. The officials are human, doing what he has to giving bail to the officials. But it's a shame when the conversation for the week of the Super Bowl isn't about the Super Bowl. And if you are talking about football, you're hearing the Saints need to be in there from everybody, whether it's Skip Bayless or Patriots fans at Super Bowl week telling the Rams while they're doing pressers that we want the Saints, we want the real champions. The Rams never, and all questions being posed to them, even during that media, was about do they think they belong. it kind of set a precedent of, you can say, their minds weren't even into it because they didn't even feel like they belonged due to everything surrounding it.
Plus, on the flip side of that, they also could have been a little bit thinking, oh, we might have this in the bag because everyone almost picked them. Media, national media loved the idea of the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
Because they had said they already beat the hard team that they had to, which was the Saints, and now they got a cake. They didn't think Tom Brady had it. They thought Gronk was all hurt up, which he was, and we'll get to the Patriots side of everything. But it just shows you that Jared Goff isn't ready, system quarterback. It shows you when you shut down the system, he can't do it on his own, at least not yet. And he still has a lot of room to grow. And Carson Wentz still is the best quarterback out of that draft.
Yeah, definitely.
Either him or Deshaun Watson.
I think if you moved Carson Wentz to, let's say, the Washington Redskins can make the playoffs that year. But if you move Jared Goff to the Washington Redskins, I think they'd be the same.
Same. I agree with you 100%. Let's switch it over to the Patriots side. I know you had a lot of takes on Patriots. I want to ask you, do you think Tom Brady's done, or do you think he's coming back?
Oh, I think he's definitely coming back. I think this is going to be the last Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think that we are also going to see Gronk come back, but I also don't know how long that's going to last. I think he needs to get out of it, man.
Yeah, people saying he was looking like a 10-man, like real bad.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like he's all the way there. He did make some really good blocks, so if he wants to play O-line, maybe. But I just don't know if he's going to be the tight end that he has been. And I think that his persona is just too much for this. He needs to move into WWE, get out of this, make money elsewhere.
So you want him to go be a wrestler?
Yeah, 100%.
No, but I mean, I do feel you. His productivity went down this year. He's getting older. Those injuries are starting to add up. And Father Time wins out versus all. The only person that's kind of beating Time right now is the old Tom versus Tom.
Now, an interesting thing with Gronk, I could see him and Tom kind of being like, okay, so Tom, when do you want to end? Tom's like, I'll do one more, two more. He's like, okay, I'll stick around, kind of deal.
Do you think Edelman leaves with them, or do you think Edelman keeps playing?
I think that's safe to assume that all three could probably do that.
100%. Well, do you think this is the last we see Tom Brady? Oh, you already said that. You said this is the last Super Bowl.
But speaking of Edelman, I don't think that he's a Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
The talk that everyone's been saying that he should be in the Hall of Fame, that's ridiculous.
Okay, give me some reasons behind it.
Because he has not been any more productive than many amazing receivers in there. Just because he won one MVP of the Super Bowl doesn't make you a NFL Hall of Famer. And plus, with the whole PED scandal, what are you going to do putting a person who was suspended for PEDs into the NFL Hall of Fame when you are rejecting steroid users in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
That's true. That's great points. And also, if you want to look at MVPs who won multiple Super Bowls with the Patriots, that has won at least one MVP and won multiple. Why not Deion Branch? And if you look at Deion Branch's stats, I believe Deion Branch's stats are better than Edelman's, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw someone making a case for Marcus Colston. Marcus Colston's stats are way better than Julian Edelman's.
And he has a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I don't think Edelman deserves to be in there. Out of the Patriots that I've seen, it's got to be Tom and Gronk, definitely. You can go on the defensive end and put some of those, like Richard Seymour and some of those great defensive players that the Patriots had. But in terms of offensive players, it's got to be Tom Brady 1 and then Gronk 2. Maybe you could throw I'm trying to think of any backs. Kevin Falk's the only back I could think of.
It's always been so many different ones, because James White had a big game in the Eagles. Sonny Michel he scored the only touchdown in this one.
And they've had a multitude of backs throughout the years. I'm trying to think of Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Falk.
I think the only true Hall of Famers that this Patriots dynasty has seen. I don't count Randy Moss because his stuff came outside of the Patriots, but in terms of offense, it's got to be just Gronk and Tom.
Yeah, maybe Wes Welker.
But see, that's what I was gonna say. If you put Edelman, you got to put Wes Welker. But Wes Welker might be in there due to the fact that he's one of the greatest slot wide receivers on already. But
he also did stuff in Denver.
That's what I'm talking about. See, he had stats before that. So if you put Edelman, you got to put Wes, and then you got to put Deion Branch. And I think Wes will make it for his stuff in Denver and just his career as a whole. But I don't see Edelman and Deion making it. But that's all we got for the Super Bowl. Lame ass Super Bowl.
Halftime. You know, a halftime show is lame when everyone's saying that there should have been more SpongeBob.
Yeah, I heard Maroon 5 did not do a good job. And look, I'm not gonna hate on my boy Travi because Trav didn't do too bad. I saw that video. It just what you expect him to do with just the second half of Sicko Mode.
Yeah, right.
Like, what do you expect him to do? But
he should have been the whole thing.
Yeah, he should have. But that's all we got for the Super Bowl. Let's move on to off-season NFL topic leading up to the draft. Kyler Murray has declared he's not playing baseball. Shuby, what did you say? Did you think he was?
I thought he was going to do baseball for the most for a long time. I don't know if in the more recent episodes I changed that, but yeah, I thought he was going to play baseball.
I feel like post Heisman we said he was going to play football.
I think we did too.
At least post Heisman. But how do you feel about Kyler Murray choosing football over baseball?
We'll see how it goes, man. I mean, baseball is so up in the air anyway. There's no say that he would have made it through the minor leagues and gotten to the major leagues. That's
so true. Like, yeah, the NFL, you're taking your check, and as Bomani Jones so eloquently put, even though I got beef with Bomani for his Pelicans take, we'll get to that a little later. The NFL, the baseball will give you your check, and you'll have to wallow through the minors and then get up to the majors, and then you'll become a star. But you still get your check. The NFL takes your check, balls it up in its fist, and punches you in the kidney like 3 times, and then hands it to you. Yes, it's a more violent league, but in terms of his play, being a quarterback, how the rules have kind of shifted to protect the quarterback, and how NFLs are going to more offenses that suit his style. And most GMs says his talent is incredible. It's just his height. And if he can get past that, he should be a decent quarterback, if not a good quarterback. I think he's making the decision that he believes in his ability. He's not making the decision that is he's not making a decision based upon money, because if he was, he'd go to the MLB. But he's making a decision based upon what his dream is and what his ability is, and you can't hate on someone for making that decision he's betting on himself, essentially.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and just kind of thinking into the whole speculation of what you do with him now. I just don't know if he's a starting quarterback right now.
No,
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, he ran the Baker Mayfield system better than Baker Mayfield," but I mean it's college.
That's 1 year. Like, no, you want to know what I really want? I want the Saints to draft him and stash him until Drew's ready.
I think he'd be a great draft and stash. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for that with a lot of teams. Like for my team, for example, with the Giants, I feel like they're either going to draft Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins, and they're going to do the whole draft and stash thing where they'll probably start Eli and do it kind of like what Baltimore did.
Yeah, and just ease him in. Yeah. For you guys, I don't think Kyler would be and it's crazy because I like Kyler's talent more than Haskins, but Haskins in the cold, he's more of a in the pocket, can take the big licks and throw the ball down the field. I don't know if Murray fits you guys. Whereas, and I know people are going to say, what, you think he fits the Saints? I just think I think I would like to see Murray stashed either at the Saints or at the Patriots, honestly. Because, and I know people are going to say the cold weather of the Patriots, but I just think with Josh McDaniels and Bill under Tom, they could kind of get him the right way. Or learning under Breeze and Peyton would be good for him. I just don't. I don't think he should go under Cliff Kingsbury. And if they get rid of Josh Rosen, I just don't see that working. Me personally.
If Josh Rosen goes to the Patriots, though, that'd be the killer move.
Oh, you're talking about them trading Josh Rosen to the Patriots, and then
yeah, because I heard that story and I was like, yes.
That would be fire because Josh Rosen's good, man. I really like Josh Rosen's skills, but we'll keep a tab on this Kyler Murray stuff as it gets closer to the draft.
Going off what you said, though, real quick, I completely agree with you. I'm all Dwayne Haskins all the way for the Giants. I don't think Kyler Murray should be I really think that they should do the Lamar Jackson thing, and I think that it'd be best if he went to a team like what you're saying with like the Patriots, where like someone who doesn't have to play him right off the bat, is established. Maybe a Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's a decent option, but then that's that cold weather. I think, man, I'm telling you, the Saints. I feel that would be a good place because I don't think we can re-sign Bridgewater. I'm sure he's going to be asking for a lot of money. So I agree with you. Pittsburgh, somewhere where he doesn't have to play.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, though, Bridgewater might be a good person for them to go get.
For them, yeah, exactly. Especially since they're going to have a lot of money freed up because we just stumbled into this topic. I know we were going to go somewhere else, but
can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, let's because I tweeted something and I want to say this on the pod because I think it's so true. But Antonio Brown has requested a trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers. What you got? Before I rant.
Oh, I think that this is not an Antonio Brown problem. I think this is all a Steelers problem.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that if your two biggest stars have an issue and are obviously not a part of this team anymore, then I don't think the issue's with them. And
go ahead.
Yeah, I think Ben Roethlisberger might be the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe Tomlin didn't make it work as well as they wanted it to, because I feel like there was tension between him and Antonio Brown for sure, and definitely Bell.
But see, okay, I'm not gonna blame it on Tomlin because Tomlin is just the coach, and he didn't draft these. He doesn't draft these guys. He's just managing their egos. And yes, Tomlin and him had beef because I think they had beef ever since Antonio Brown went on Facebook Live. And he's just been trying to smooth it over. But I think the problem in that locker room has been Roethlisberger.
Oh yes,
diva attitude. You can't have a diva quarterback and a diva wide receiver. But I agree with you. I think it's more so a Steelers problem than an Antonio Brown problem. But this is my rant. How come Antonio Brown can do everything that he does and does not get the criticism that Odell Beckham Jr. gets? I don't think it's fair to Odell because Odell does not do half the shit that Antonio does. Antonio is a selfish diva where Odell is all about the team. He's working out constantly and he helps his teammates. Unlike Antonio Brown, who just shows up to play games. And that is it. He cares about himself. His business is booming and all that bullshit. Nobody gives a damn about you being a coon. And this goes past all that. This goes past football. Antonio Brown only cares about making money and selling his brand. He told you guys that when he said he's still buying Gucci. He told you guys that when he was on Dancing with the Stars. He told you guys that when he put his coach on Facebook Live.
He was also a Masked Singer.
Odell Beckham would not do half the shit that Antonio Brown does. And I'm sorry. I don't think Odell deserves half the criticism and media attention that he gets. I think Antonio Brown is lucky that he's not in New York getting that attention, because if he got what Odell got, it would be 10 times worse. And I don't know if he can handle it.
No, I completely agree with that. That's a really good point. But I think that Antonio Brown will get his very soon.
Yeah,
I think he's coming into a big market.
And whatever team he goes to, if the same thing keeps happening, he's gonna get the TO mark, and it might be worse.
I think he's going out to California. That's what I've been hearing.
San Fran.
I've been hearing that. I've also been hearing that if LA moves stuff around, they might go get him.
Oh God, the Rams.
Rams or Chargers.
I would much prefer him at the Chargers because, let him go to the Rams and destroy that locker room. That locker room already has issues.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let him go over there.
Because I think no matter where Antonio Brown goes, I don't think this circus ends, and I think it's gonna finally be brought to the light, like you said, and it's just a shame, man. I just see I can't stand half the stuff Antonio Brown does, and Odell gets criticized for the smallest things when all he has to do is just be a good football player and care about his team, where Antonio Brown just cares about himself. And I just have to rant because it just upsets me.
Another interesting destination that he could end up, the Cowboys have to re-sign Mari Cooper. Maybe they just don't re-sign Mari Cooper.
That'd be interesting. And I also heard the Cowboys are going after Earl Thomas as well. We got a lot to look out for in football, but we have a move that has been made. Denver trades for Flacco. It seems like they're going to cut. They're going to let Case Keenum go, and they're going to try the Flacco.
They might try and trade him, but they could probably let him go.
So what do you think about them?
You want to know what I think? Well, go ahead and ask a question.
I was just going to say, what do you think about them switching from a quarterback that was average to a quarterback that's just slightly either
above average
or slightly below average, depending on who you ask?
I think they're almost about the same.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see any difference being made in this.
I think with Flacco, you get a little bit more, I guess, maybe accreditation for the fans. Maybe the fans will feel a little bit better about having a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
That doesn't make your players feel better.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Broncos are doing. I still think they could be in the pool to maybe try and either be tanking now to get, maybe a Tua maybe not Tua, but what I'm talking about, like someone in that next quarterback draft. So I don't know what they're doing, but my thing here is with Case Keenum as a Giants fan, because I think that the Giants might make a play for him.
A lot of this is your Giants takes. You really want the Giants to do something when it comes to quarterback.
I do, and I think that Case Keenum's best season came when he was playing under Pat Shurmur, who is now the Giants head coach. I think that maybe they may make a play for that.
That'd be interesting. He had his best year under Shurmur. You're right. Well, I mean, if y'all don't get Haskins or y'all don't think Eli's up to snuff, why not get Case Keenum and still get Haskins? Maybe let Eli just ride on out.
Or get Case Keenum and hold off
on drafting. Yeah, true.
Yeah, depending on what you do, because maybe Odell. I think we're coming up on a contract year.
And Jay Glazer said y'all would trade him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to stay, and maybe you just commit to the rebuild because the Cowboys are improving. They're going to be hard to beat. The Eagles are really tough right now. You just maybe you commit to this rebuild. You have Saquon for a little while. Get a quarterback that's a little bit more serviceable. That maybe you can make a push, but don't be if you're another Giants fan like me, don't be thinking we're going to the Super Bowl.
Y'all are in trouble, man. That's all I got to say. But that's enough football talk. Oh, actually, no. Well, let's move from the NFL to another pro league. The
AAF. For John, baby.
What'd you think, Shuby? What did you think?
For John, the iron kicking butt, dude.
You're hype on it, but I saw a lot of people say, in the ratings said that they watched the first game, but after the first game, that was it.
Haters. It was because they had the lame games on. They should have had the Birmingham Iron game on.
What'd you think, man? Be honest. I don't want it just because Birmingham has a team. Do you think this league can stand the test of time? Will it get the ratings? Do you think people care about watching people who didn't make the NFL? I know they're trying to make it a feeder league, but nobody watches the NBA G League.
Yeah, I understand, but the NBA, it's not football. Football is the biggest ratings of anything on television.
Ooh, we're gonna have to fact check that. Check that.
Look up the highest rated episodes of anything on TV in a year, and most of them are like the Super Bowl or the NFL playoffs or the national championship.
We're gonna look that up. I'm gonna check that and have an answer for you next week.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I'm not afraid for you to go look that up. But yeah, people want to watch football, and I think that there's going to be a market for it, especially because they've really put these teams in these small markets. Birmingham had 17,000 people show up to this first game, and with the excitement that it generated from what I'd seen in the local media, that I think even more people will show up to the next one.
See, okay, I see where you're going with it. My question was more so nationally. Do you think
nationally the ratings are going to be iffy, but I feel like people might still be interested in watching football.
Okay, I get where you're going. Okay, so locally, I think the local teams, in the area surrounding the team, if they can get to those games, will pay attention. If the team is in your area, you'll pay attention. But I don't think you're going to catch many people from Louisiana trying to watch AAF. I don't think you'll see places that don't have teams trying to watch AAF too much, unless nothing's on television.
Yeah, I see that. I see it kind of being another one of these arena football kind of leagues.
Yeah.
You know, arena football maybe didn't. It's still not going right now, so it didn't have a forever, career. But I feel like the AAF could have something similar, maybe 8-9 years.
Ooh, you saying 8-9?
That's about how long the arena football went. I don't think it's going to be a one and done like the XFL. Okay. I think even this resurging XFL might even get 3 years.
The reason why I think the XFL might be better off is because, and I know they say they're not playing into this, but they need to. If you give me an NFL league that's WWE, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
if they did do that, that would be the way to do it.
They need to do it, and they said they're going to try to make it more realistic football, but, bro, nobody's okay, number one, you don't have the best player. You can't offer if you don't have the best players and you're not a developmental league, who am I? Am I watching Joe Blow? That's the freaking the grocer at my local Super One, and don't give me the Kurt Warner comparison, because that's not everybody.
Would you want mics in the helmets, trash talk conversations?
Yes, I want it
during the game.
Yes, WWE, make it a show. You can script it for all I care. Make it a show.
You're not getting past me this time. He hate me.
Fans can vote in on who wins the game for all I care.
Well, you do know in the AAF, they do have a fan interactive app where you can guess the next plays. I don't know if it's necessarily gambling. It could be, though.
Interesting. That's interesting. But I think the XFL definitely, as we get more close to it, I think they got to play into that WWE.
They got Bob Stoops, man. They're doing some things, man.
They do. But let's jump. Oh, before we leave the AAF, young Jamarcus Russell's making a comeback, bro.
In the AAF?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
For what team?
Look, Google that real quick, because Adam Schefter reported it. I'm pretty sure. I saw that on Shefty's Twitter, unless that was one of the fake Shefties, but I don't think that was the fake Shefty. Jamarcus Russell coming back to the AAF, I'm pretty sure. Let me Google that. Yeah, AAF, yeah.
Do you think Colin Kaepernick should have played in the AAF?
Oh wait, they said it's a fake BR app. Oh, it was fake. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Jamarcus Russell. I don't know. Is this real? I don't know, man. They say he might have signed with Memphis, but then somebody's saying that this is a fake BR app. I don't know.
I'm not seeing it on Google.
Yeah, Google told me this is fake. Yeah, this is fake. All right, it's fake. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for giving you guys a fake story. I thought Jamarcus Russell was making a comeback. Now, what you saying? Should Kaepernick play the AAF? Hell no. Hell no.
He should play for the Iron.
Kaepernick needs to keep doing what he's doing, because Kaepernick's never playing in the NFL again. He gonna win his collusion case, hopefully, and then that'll be a wrap. But we're not talking about that now, Shuby. Let's jump into the NBA, because we got a lot to get into. First topic, we're gonna cover all things that really happened in the trade deadline. We're gonna get to the Pelicans, because I got a lot to discuss on what's going on now. We're gonna get to the Lakers. We're going to get to the Celtics and the Raptors, but first, we got to start with Philly. Philly made, in my opinion, the biggest move on the trading deadline. Second was probably the Raptors, and I think third was probably the Bucks.
And it was out of nowhere. It was quiet.
It was super, everybody was talking about the Knicks. Everybody was talking about, we'll talk about the Dallas thing, because I think that's going to be huge in the future. But everybody was talking about the Knicks. Everybody was talking about AD. Nobody expected the Clippers to make a move. Clippers ended up trading Tobias Harris, clears enough space for, I believe they now have space for 2 max players. So the Clippers are just as much in this free agency as anybody. But let's look at Tobias Harris going to Philly, and now their starting 5 is Ben Simmons, J.J. Redick, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. They now have a starting unit that could, in theory, on paper, compete with the Warriors. What do you think about Philly? Does this move make them the favorite in the East? Do you think they're going to the finals?
Yes. And yes.
Ooh. All right. Well, first game back, they looked like an all-star team. Second game, they blew out the Lakers, but they lose to the Celtics. What do you think about how they look on the floor?
I think, Tobias Harris was an all-star snub, and now you put him on a team with Joel Embiid, who's playing some of the best basketball I've seen played in this new era of the NBA without having to shoot threes. Man, Ben Simmons, he's not as dominant as I think we all thought he was going to be, but he's still a heck of a player. And then Jimmy Butler is still a solid star.
I'd say whatchamacallit is. I think Ben Simmons is having a great second year. I think he's having
a great year. I just don't. I don't know if he was supposed to be the guy who exploded and be the guy, But I feel like Joel Embiid has really kind of been that guy.
I think Ben Simmons had to take a step back due to Jimmy Butler being there.
And I think that's part of what I'm saying. He had to take a step back for Jimmy Butler as well. So, I thought that he would be the one that they would be taking a step back for, and it's the other way around. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you, and I think that's the case right now due to Ben's lack of offensive game. I think as Ben's offensive game increase, his role in the system will increase. I think it'll be more so him and Embiid show, and if they retain Harris and Butler over the next couple of years, they will play off of Embiid and Simmons. But until Simmons' offense catches up with his other natural talents, he'll always be the third he won't even be the third option because I think Tobias is the third option, but he's the facilitator until further notice.
The only thing is scary about the Sixers at this moment is I really don't like their coach that much.
I don't like their bench.
And I don't like their bench at all. Maybe Covington.
And Brooklyn made a great point. Assuming they do make the finals, I don't like that matchup with Redick because who guards Steph and who guards Clay?
Redick's got to guard Clay.
You putting Simmons on Steph?
Yeah.
Ooh, I said put Simmons on Clay and then put Redick on Steph and let Steph eat Redick's ass.
Oh, man. That'd be bad.
Because Clay gonna eat Redick too.
Ugh.
It's bad either way. It's bad either way.
I know. That's why it's so tough. But
and then they got rid of they're shooting off the bench with Shamet, and they lose Sarge, Covington to get rid of. They lost a lot of their depth. So now that they're a powerful starting five, but who's coming off that bench?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But pause real quick on that. And are we gonna circle back to the Clippers, or do you want to kind of say something about them real quick?
Oh, you can say what you got to say because there's not too much to say about them.
I think the Clippers are on a better path than the Lakers right now.
Oh, well, we'll circle back to that then, because that'll just be part of our whole Lakers-Pels conversation.
All right.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that. Let's finish up the 76ers. I'm looking at their win against the Lakers. If the stat, hurry up, pull up so I can tell you their bench. So if you look at that game, Redick had 21, Embiid had 37, Tobias had 22, Jimmy had 15, and Ben had 18. They got 13 off the bench from T.J. McConnell. They got Mike Scott coming off the bench. They got James Ennis. They got Furkan Korkmaz, if I'm sorry I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Of course, they got the Boban, and they got Jonathan Simmons. If you look at that bench lineup, and I don't know if Furkan can shoot threes, but the only guy that can really shoot threes off the bench is maybe James Ennis and maybe Mike Scott a little bit. They have no shooting off the bench. This team is not really a shooting team.
No.
Like all the shooters are just Butler, and he's a mid-range and streaky three-point. He's a streaky three-point shooter, but a pretty good mid-range shooter. Tobias Harris can stretch it to three-point, but the real shooter is Redick, and if you're not looking at Redick, Tobias Harris, or Butler, nobody else can really shoot on this team. And I guess it's Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid just kind of takes over, man. Like, that's what we've seen in these games where they've really been impressive, is Embiid just is some kind of different athlete in this era of the NBA.
He's a dominant.
He's the new era of the big man.
Yeah, He is what we wanted Anthony Davis to be. He's a smaller DeMarcus Cousins when DeMarcus Cousins was dominating in Sacramento. He's a smaller version of that, more nimble, a little faster. He's doing the damn thing. It's really the best big man conversation is between him and Jokic, because I don't want Jokic's efforts to be misseen.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Because Jokic has been killing. But let's move from Philly. Shubert picks them now to be in the finals with this move. I'm gonna jump to the Raptors. Let's stay in the East real quick before we get to the West, because I want to handle the West altogether. The Raptors acquired Jeremy Lin to come off their bench, as well as center Marc Gasol. And I know the Tobias Harris move is huge, but if you look at the Raptors' new lineup and you look at the bench, and we're talking about Philly's bench, man, the Raptors have some unbelievable depth. Look at, so they go Pascal Siakam, Danny Green, Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, Jeremy Lin, Marc Gasol, Chris Boucher, Jordan Lord, and Kawhi. That's a tough group. OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam off the bench is tough. You have starting center. You can start Ibaka and Marc Gasol, or bring whoever you want off the bench. The Raptors are tough, man.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Raptors, man. Their bench is so solid.
Yeah, it really is.
And then Siakam is just playing out of his mind like he did tonight. He scored 44 points.
It's insane. Like, you have a young up-and-coming guys in Siakam and OG Anunoby who's killing for you. You got vets like Danny Green and Kyle Lowry who can really get buckets. And then
Norman Powell
new stars.
Has solid minutes.
He plays good defense, gets you solid points. Like, you telling me bringing in Marc Gasol and Kawhi Leonard as your star? That's I know we say Philly's gonna win it, but I can't outbet the Raptors quite yet.
No, yeah, I agree. I didn't even know that they got Jeremy Lin. I think that's a really big.
That's boost. A big move as well.
And like Van Fleet and McCaw can't even play right now, and they're both pretty solid.
Exactly. So it's big moves for the Raptors. Another team in the East that made a big move, the Milwaukee Bucks, and courtesy of the Pels, we traded them Nikola Mirotic, and I think that really secures their lineup of a solid starting five of. Hold on, let me pull up their lineup. You get Blake, you get Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Brogdon, and Bledsoe. You can bring Mirotic and Ilyasova off the bench. Jordan, Tony Snell, Brown, solid lineup. Or you start Mirotic with Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook, and either Eric Bledsoe or Malcolm Brogdon. You can go big or small, and that adds a really strong shooter. Like Shuby always says, Mirotic is a guy that adds to a solid big three, even though I don't consider the Bucks to have a big three with Middleton, Bledsoe, and Giannis. I think it's more of a star with some quality above average players. And Mirotic is another one of those guys who can really solidify that roster. What do you think about the Bucks move?
Yeah, I think that's a good move for them. They have a lot of those players that are just a little bit above average players. You know, Brook Lopez is on this roster. He's a pretty above average player. Your son Ilyasova is a very above average bench guy. Can really give you solid minutes. They got him back recently in the past month or so, I believe. And Mirotic just really adds to that. So yeah, Milwaukee looks good. I just don't know how they're going to be in the playoffs.
They're leading right now, and
they'll get through the first round of the playoffs, but I just don't know how
be moving forward.
It's kind of like the way the Raptors were last year, where the Raptors looked really great, and in theory they looked like a team that should go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but when they got to the playoffs and they got to facing LeBron, which of course there's no LeBron here, but let's say that LeBron in this case is Brad Stevens, can they survive not getting outcoached by Brad Stevens? I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to see. And speaking of Brad Stevens, because I was gonna say right now the playoffs is between the Bucks, Raptors, and Celtics. I mean the Bucks, Raptors, and Sixers. The Celtics sit at 4th right now, 37-21. The Sixers are actually 5th, 37-21. You have the Pacers at 38-20, but I think that's going to drop.
They're falling.
Yeah, with Victor Oladipo's injury, and we don't know if he's coming back this season. I don't think he is. So they're going to fall. We should see the Celtics and Sixers both rise. Do you think, and the Celtics only won that game against the Sixers without Kyrie, because obviously that team, I'm not going to say that team is better without Kyrie, but that team is more a passing team, and you really get what Brad Stevens wants when Kyrie's not being very ball dominant. So I don't know if we'll always see this version of the Celtics. What do you think's up with the Celtics, man? And I know we ask this every week, but do you think, and this will lead into the Pelicans thing, do you think they keep Kyrie, or do you think they should really focus on keeping Jason Tatum and just saying, to hell with getting AD?
Well, that's been the whole thing in this kind of AD thing that's kind of confused me a little bit, because I've heard that the Celtics are interested in getting a trade for AD and having Jason Tatum and possibly another young guy or some picks. And I'm hearing Marcus Smart's name.
Yeah, it's Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and some picks.
And Horford in some picks.
And Horford?
In some picks, yeah.
See, my thing in all that is, why are you getting rid of Jason Tatum? Like, Jason Tatum is the future of your franchise. Like, you should be focusing on him.
The conversation doesn't start unless you we're not. If you switch out Tatum for Brown, we might as well take the Knicks offer.
You might as well take the Lakers offer.
Exactly. Tatum has to be in there, but I think they're banking on if they do get AD, Kyrie stays.
Yeah, and I think that would maybe be the best way for that to work.
But it's just like, man, are you really trying to bank on Kyrie? And then let's assume you get AD and Kyrie doesn't stay. Is your team now being led by AD, Hayward, and Jaylen Brown?
If that happened, it would be very humorous, because it would be like, oh, AD, you really just kind of went to the same, close to the same situation, into a place that you didn't want to go. So how'd that work for you?
Like he, no matter what, I think AD's going to Boston or New York, and I think either way he loses. But if Boston really gets rid of Tatum and loses Kyrie, they lose too.
Yeah, I agree.
Then, like you lose Tatum, like oh my god.
I really think that Tatum is this guy that we're going to be saying in 2025 is, a all-star, consistent all-star.
Yeah, and one of the best players in the league. And
exactly.
And let's finish up this. I don't really want to talk about Celtics too much in the playoffs, because we say the same thing every week. Like, when will
they're
they
dangerous.
I think it's more they are when they play together, but when they don't, and they play like with Kyrie hero ball, they look bad. So they have to figure out a way to play together. And when Kyrie's not there, you see how dangerous this Celtics team is. I want to also shout out to the Nets. They're 6th right now. D'Angelo Russell made All-Star. This kind of leads into our Lakers-Pelicans conversation. He made a statement that him leaving LA was the best thing for his career, because if not, he would be in the situation that these guys are in, and he feels for them, because it just sucks going through all that. And it just the Lakers organization just wasn't healthy for him. For him to come out and say that, crazy, best thing for his career. You look at how the young players for the Lakers are kind of really giving up on LeBron after this whole trade fiasco. You see the same thing happening with the Pelicans, but a whole different way, because the league came out and said they aren't forcing the Pelicans to play him, and they won't fine. But nonetheless, that was the memo that was given. It was suggested, and you see the Pelicans were winning, or at least playing together, before Anthony Davis came back. Now he's back, and the team is losing, and they just aren't playing for him. And he kind of took a shot at the team, saying they weren't playing, but nobody wants to play with you, bro, because you already said you don't want to play with this.
Yeah, I was at the game against the Magic this week, and they just did not look like they wanted to be on the floor with him.
No,
and he really wasn't contributing on offense.
He wasn't, and that's the thing. Like, we'll get into the trade stuff in a second, but I just want to talk about how they're playing right now. Anthony Davis should not be on the floor. He should not be. The league should be ashamed that they're forcing. Why didn't you force the Spurs? Why didn't you force any of these other teams who sat out play? Anthony Davis is being a harm to not only the fans, to not only the NBA, but to the Pelicans players. Like, you're harming the stunt of these young players who are actually growing, like Kendrick Williams and Frank Jackson and Jahlil Okafor. You're stunning their growth due by making them play with a guy that, of course, they loved playing with him when he was there, but he doesn't want to be there anymore. And he's obviously not a part of the future, and these guys are. Like, I wouldn't want to play with somebody who doesn't want to play with me either.
Yeah, I'm with that. Like, I just feel like you should have egg on your face, man, with, like, all these comments that I just can't believe, like, all these comments that I'm hearing that are coming from AD's camp that about the legacies and about wanting to go to a contender. And I really want to get to talking about LA because, like, they're not a contender. And that's perfect. And if they sacrifice Kuzma and everything that they were going to sacrifice for you, they're not going to be a contender. I don't care who you are.
Nope. And I've seen a lot of pictures of a lot of teams who stockpiled young people, and then looking at those young people today, those teams made a mistake getting rid of them. Prime example, Orlando. Orlando at one point had Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
They had, I'm trying to remember, they had Vucevic, and they had Tobias Harris and Aaron Gordon. At one point, they had all of them, got rid of them. And you see if Orlando would have kept at least Oladipo, Tobias Harris, and Vucevic, maybe get rid of Aaron Gordon, that's a big three in Orlando. And we're talking about Orlando as a totally different team.
That's true.
You see the Lakers getting rid of D'Angelo Russell. I bet they wish they had D'Angelo Russell right now. D'Angelo Russell would be perfect for that team right now. But they got rid of him. And you see them lose. You see getting rid of young talent. We talked about the Celtics. The Celtics are about to make that mistake. And I'm glad they're about to make it. Get rid of Tatum for AD. And Tatum said something beautiful the other day. And I don't know if it was him or if it was somebody who talked to his camp, but there was an article released that Tatum believes that if he gets traded for Anthony Davis, that could be his James Harden move, where James Harden left OKC and he becomes a star in Houston, a small market team or a smaller market team, but he becomes the star in the face of the franchise. And Tatum wants that, and he's okay with becoming that for New Orleans.
Yeah, I think that he has a good mindset to it, but it's just so early.
It is. But I think that's what's going to go down. Let's talk about the Lakers. The Lakers are having the same exact situation that's happening to Anthony Davis.
The Lakers aren't even the best team in their own state.
Oh, you're saying the Clippers are? Interesting.
Whoa. What about the Kings?
Oh, both of them are ahead.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and what makes the Lakers a contender? And
speaking on young talent, the Kings won that Boogie trade at this point. The pick turned into De'Aaron Fox, and now with the young talent that they have of Bagley, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, and all their stockpiled young guys, they're finally making a push as well.
I was about to say, Buddy Hield balling.
These small market teams, it's not about getting star play. You have to develop star players if you're a small market team. You see the Kings, you see the Nuggets, you see Brooklyn. All these teams that are developing their talent, that's why they're starting to win. The Pelicans have to do that with either making this trade with the Knicks and getting a stockpile of young players or making the Jason Tatum move. But whatever it is, I'm finally happy that we've gotten rid of Anthony Davis because it's so much egg on his face talking about he wants to go to a contender, talking about legacy. What legacy will you have if you leave us and you go be a second fiddle to LeBron and don't win shit?
The Kevin Love legacy.
Exactly. I said best case scenario, he gets a Dwayne Wade legacy if he is the number one option. But more than likely, he's going to be remembered like Chris Bosh and Kevin Love. Maybe a little higher due to the fact that he had natural talent. But it'll be looked at as, damn, he didn't live up to it.
For me, looking in LeBron's career and thinking about it in the same space as like the greats, I feel like Dwayne Wade is his number one, number two. If you know what I'm saying, like
I get what you're
saying. He's his guy.
Yeah.
And on the side note of that, you could be like, well, Kyrie Irving was his best number 2. Like, yeah, I agree with that. Kyrie Irving was probably the best number 2 he had, but Dwayne Wade is always going to be like that
His
guy.
number
So
one.
I
No.
don't
Dwayne Wade
think
taught him how to
anyone
win.
could ever live up to that. I feel like for AD, the best he could get is being Kevin Love or Chris Bosh. Like, I can't see him being anything close
to Kyrie or Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I just can't.
But let's talk about the Lakers playing now. It's a damn shame that Magic Johnson has egg on his face too, because who's running that organization? Is it you or is it Clutch Sports? I want to know. Who's
Rich Paul.
No, bullshit. Don't you fall victim to that bullshit. It's not Rich Paul. It's freaking LeBron. Who signs Rich Paul's checks?
LeBron.
Exactly. That's who runs Clutch Sports. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm so sick of it, from national media all the way down to local. I'm so sick of this belief that, Rich Paul runs Clutch. Who signs Rich Paul's checks? Whoever signs Rich Paul's checks, that's who owns Clutch Sports, and that's who freaking runs it. Rich Paul is Littlefinger, and LeBron's whoever manipulates Littlefinger.
That's definitely 100%. That's a really appropriate comparison for Rich Paul.
Like, it's a damn... Magic Johnson should have egg on his face. If I'm Elton Brand, I'm not letting Ben Simmons go anywhere. You can't even go to L.A. this summer. Stay your ass on the East Coast. I mean,
yeah.
My God, do you not believe in your own players? If I'm Kuzma, Hart, Ingram, and Ball, I don't want to be there. I don't want to play there anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Lonzo's already kind of thinking about that with hearing what LeVar has been saying and how they're talking about Phoenix. I feel like there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And
Phoenix may be buying into the Ball brothers, because you may not... It's not about Jello. It's that young one. Melo's a dog. And you see when Melo goes back. You saw when Melo came back to play in high school. I don't care what any of these Ball haters have to say out here. This is the truth. When Melo came play with people his own age, he's whooping everybody's ass. Everybody's ass.
Yeah, we'll see how he does in college next year. I'm excited.
If they let him play.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I hope they do too. But I feel bad for Kuzma, man. Kuzma could be a great player. He just needs to be properly developed. Ingram got mismanaged.
No, there was someone that I was listening to them talking today. It was like, man, I just don't know why they didn't take the LA trade. Like, they had some A quality players. And I'm like, whoa. LA doesn't have any A quality players besides LeBron. Kuzma's not an A player. He's a B plus at best. And all that other trash is B minus, C plus.
They're talking about potential. And in the NBA, unless you have the right coaching staff, potential never equates to anything. You have to look at what's right now until they develop into that. That's why if you're the Pels, you can't look at the Lakers deal until after you know what the Knicks have in the lottery, or you know that the Celtics aren't giving you Tatum. Like, there's so many, like, imagine if you're the Pelicans and you take the Lakers deal and the Knicks get the first round pick and you end up getting the third, fourth, or fifth or second round pick. You could have had the first with the Knicks and whatever you get, and end up doing a pseudo Oklahoma City all in 1 year.
Yeah, I still think that's possible.
That's in getting a young player like Kevin Knox. I like Kevin Knox's upside more than some of those LA boys, because Kevin Knox has been balling.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kevin Knox has also been getting a lot of quality time over there. I think that he might be. I think he has this, if not the same ceiling, maybe have a higher ceiling than Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I think he has a higher ceiling than Brandon Ingram. I can't say he has a higher ceiling than Kuzma, but I like what I've seen more from him than I have Brandon Ingram.
Exactly. That's if you're the Pelicans, that's the position that you're really looking to work out.
Like, you got to think Tatum's your best option, but if it's not Tatum, what young wing is second? Like, I think Kevin Knox might be better than Brandon Ingram. And in terms of Kuzma, Kevin Knox has shown that he's just been timid. If you get Kevin Knox in the right system, who knows what he could become? Because he's younger than all of them.
Because we're kind of talking about the Pelicans here for a second and like where they might be drafting at too. I was having this theory because, of course, LSU basketball had a big win this past week against Kentucky. That was kind of great, good for LSU basketball. It's regular season basketball to me. Nothing happens till the tournament. but I think both these teams might have a chance to get really far.
Yeah.
But what if one of these LSU guys, what's his name, Tremont?
Oh, well, shoot, that's a second round. As much as I love those LSU guys,
what if he comes?
So second round, I'd love that.
Yeah, I think he'd be a cool person to have on the team.
Second round, definitely. But in terms of any of those LSU guys, first round, can't take them. They're great players, and we'll get to the LSU game because I want to give them some. I want to give them some love when we talk college basketball.
Because and man, what if you get Zion and on top of that grab Reddish or Barrett or
that dude from
Langford or Murray State? Man.
That's big. That's
plus
big.
Tatum.
Or
Knox.
Or Knox, exactly. Let's assume you get your own pick plus Tatum. Your pick ends up being, let's say, third or fourth. Cam Reddish and Tatum or RJ Barrett and Tatum isn't bad. Like, what?
That's amazing.
That's amazing. And let's say you get the Knicks with the first year pick and Kevin Knox. That's Zion Reddish, RJ Barrett Reddish, or any combination with Knox. That's a pseudo Oklahoma City. That's why you can't take the Lakers deal.
As much as we trash the Pelicans front office, they made a good decision on going past the trade deadline and waiting to the summer. But
I can't give credit to the front office. I can't give credit to Dell.
That's fine because I was just about to say. On the other hand, though, they need to go.
Yeah, no. Gail Benson needs to make a decision ASAP and get rid of Dell Demps before the NBA draft. I do not want Dell Demps with our pick because he has been known to trade picks for young vets. Keep all your assets at this point because you need them. And I think we need to get a new GM, and I think Mickey Loomis needs to be out as president of basketball operations or whatever his position is. We need a true president of basketball operations, a true basketball mind in there instead of Mickey Loomis. He does a great job with the Saints and he's a great football mind, but to know basketball, he doesn't know basketball. And Dell Demps has proven that he can't do it. So we need someone new, I think, all across the board. You can keep Gentry, I guess, but anytime you get a new regime and a new GM and a bunch of young guys, that GM's going to want his coach, and I don't know if Gentry's a coach that can coach a rebuilding team. Gentry's a coach that coaches the teams that have a bunch of vets in them that you're trying to take to the championship. I would like a young coach to grow with this young team, assuming that we become young.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it needs to be a complete overhaul. I'm still really into this idea that Avery Johnson comes over and does at least the GM role.
Interesting.
Because I think he would leave Alabama.
I think he would too.
Especially because his son's about to be done at Alabama. And, he was always best when it came to the NBA. I don't know if he would be a coach. And if he does be a coach, that would be great too. But I think that he'd be the person that would be good running your basketball operation.
I wouldn't mind him. Either him or Chauncey Billups. I know Billups has been offered to do a bunch of things. He was up for the Cleveland job. He was up for a couple other jobs. I wouldn't mind Chauncey Billups being our GM, him or Avery Johnson. I don't really want Joe Dumars because of his past with the Pistons. I think we need someone like an Avery Johnson who's been in the college, who knows these young kids, or a guy like Chauncey Billups who can recognize talent and can really do well in that role. I'm with you on that. But final things I have really about basketball, I want to shout out, we got to talk about Porzingis. That's the final thing I really want to talk about. Porzingis to Dallas, baby. I love the move. I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I love it for both sides too.
Yeah, it sucks for the moment because it's just like it's one of these things where you get this asset and you're like, man, like this is gonna be our guy. This is who we're gonna build around. And then all of a sudden it's like, nah, we're just gonna change it all up, but based on a whim. Because it's like. Sure, in theory, the Knicks may have won the trade, quote unquote.
But you won't know that till the summer.
I think Dennis Smith Jr. is actually doing really well, and I think that he might be a good piece, depending on what happens in the summer. But that's the thing. It's the same thing with the Clippers too. Like I really like what the Clippers have set up, but if they don't get two players on the max deal that are worth it, then they failed. It's the same thing with the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks is gonna. To me, the Knicks more so than the Clippers are going to have egg on their face. Yeah, yes, the Clippers may miss on free agents.
Especially because they have that pick.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Knicks, oh man, especially if y'all make that trade with the New Orleans and then y'all don't get KD and Jimmy Butler or Kyrie, and I don't think y'all are getting Jimmy or Clay. I don't think y'all are getting Jimmy because me and you talked about this off air. I think if Jimmy goes to the finals this year, I think he's staying with Philly. But
yeah,
if y'all don't get Kyrie, AD, or KD, oh, y'all gonna have big egg on y'all face. Y'all just gave away one of the best big men in the NBA, and y'all let him go form a European Kobe and Shaq team in Dallas. Yo,
or Dirk and Nash.
No. I'm not going. Doncic better, huh? Yo, I'm not gonna let y'all do that to my boy Doncic. They, young Cobes, European Kobe and Shaq. Even though Porzingis is more Nowitzki than Shaq.
It's going to be scary with what they can do, but they still have a lot of things that they still have to piece together.
Oh, yeah. And then I love Tim Hardaway on that team. Another shooter? That's what Doncic... Put him around a bunch of shooters, put a bunch of shooters around him, and then have him and Porzingis do their thing. But, like you said, that trade, we will know who wins the moment we find out how healthy Kristaps Porzingis is.
Exactly, yeah. He's got to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I think you got to have a facilitator.
And that's
or another big man.
Oh, okay.
Because you lose DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, that was a loss that I wish they
Dirk's
somehow
gone.
could have kept. Yeah, no, I agree. You need a guy to bang and really get the boards because Porzingis isn't that guy.
Yeah, so if you're gonna have Tim Hardaway and Doncic as your guards, Harrison Barnes is still there.
Yeah, no, they traded him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they got rid of
Barnes. Yeah, no, they definitely did because LeBron made that tweet.
So yeah, they're kind of missing some forwards there. They need to kind of figure out what they're going to do there.
So right now, they got Justin Jackson. They're hoping he turns out to be the other from Shubert. He was doing well at the Kings. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna write him off yet. If Justin Jackson can turn out to be decent, you have Justin Jackson, you have Tim Hardaway Jr., Doncic, and then Porzingis, and then you get your center and Dorian Finney-Smith off the bench. Jalen Brunson as your young guard off the bench to back up Doncic. I mean, and you're right. They have some ways to go. They have to fill out that team. But I'm just saying they have decent pieces in play. Depending on how many more years Courtney Lee has and Trey Burke, those are solid pieces from the Knicks. I'm just saying Dallas is at least 1 to 2 years away from making some noise, depending on how healthy Kristaps Porzingis is. Because if he's 100% healthy, Doncic and him are going to bring the best out of each other.
It's very true. It's very true.
And Doncic has already said that European League basketball to him was easier due to some of the rules. And if him and Porzingis can get on that vibe, that would be crazy.
Yeah, and they already have good coaching down there.
Rick Carlisle's a great coach, and they have a great owner who's committed to winning. But Mark Cuban has shown his hand. He wants a specific style star, and we've seen if he gets a star like what he wants, he can make it work. And he has 2 now.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing with Dirk. Dirk only was Dirk, and you got Jason Kidd old when he won the championship. The guards they had were old when they won the championship. He never had both in prime, and when he did, he made the mistake of getting rid of Nash too early and Kidd too early.
And he already said he wouldn't make that mistake. But we were talking about how the Knicks may have benefited from their trade, but I also think the Kings benefited from that trade. This is definitely, I think, is going to maybe keep them in that playoff spot.
Harrison Barnes is a solid veteran that you add to that young core. With De'Aaron Fox, what's our boy's name? Buddy Hield,
Willie Cauley-Stein,
Bagley, and then you have Bogdanovich as the perfect 6th man, and then you have Bjelica and Yogi Ferrell, Harry Giles, and Alec Burks. That's a solid team, man. That's a real solid team.
I don't think the Lakers are going to be in the playoffs.
Ooh, you don't think the Zero Dark 30 Bron's going to make an appearance?
I guess it's still early because we haven't even gotten to the All-Star break.
Yep, All-Star break's this weekend.
But I don't really like their chances. I kind of feel like looking at the 8.
I think the Clippers are out. I think the Clippers are going to be done. I think the Kings make it.
Yeah, I think the Clippers are going to be done, but the Kings I feel good about. I think that the Lakers are going to be fighting for it. The Mavs still might make a push.
It just
And at
depends,
least
man.
give the Lakers some problems.
Because the Mavs lost a lot when they got rid of. I think DeAndre Jordan and Barnes really allowed for the Mavs to win. Now I think they're not gonna tank because you can't tank with Doncic. You're just gonna let him win as much as he can by himself. But he's by himself. You know what I mean? Shuby, like, yeah, he has Hardaway, but he doesn't have Porzingis right now. I don't think Hardaway's enough to get him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But who knows? He's great. He's won. You can say Doncic has won those 26 games.
Yeah, it's just like it sucks because of how the schedule works. But when you look at 8 to even down to 13 with the Pelicans, I feel like any of those teams could beat one another.
Yeah,
and fight for that spot.
Not saying the Pelicans will, because the way they're playing, they're not making shit. I don't want them to.
But I know what you're saying. Pelicans now, but like if we were a month ago.
Yeah, no, you're saying they could. There's a potential for.
We know that if the Pelicans really wanted to, they could be in the playoffs.
Facts, no, 100%. I'm with you on that. Well, let's transition to college basketball. There's 2 teams I really want to talk about. The first one, Shuby mentioned earlier. I want to shout out LSU basketball. Shout out to Tremont Waters, Nas Reed, and the gang. Those guys came and went into Kentucky and shut it down, proving, in my opinion, and I think once they beat Tennessee, like I told Shubert, LSU is the best SEC team in college basketball.
I think Tennessee is probably the best one. We'll see next weekend. Not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Yes, we shall.
February 23rd.
And is that game at LSU?
I believe it is in Baton Rouge.
Ooh, Shuby, we should try to go to that game. I'm going to talk to you about that off air.
No, I'm going to the Lakers game that night.
Oh, you butt. All right, whatever. But no, LSU, okay, so if you look at the stats of this game against Kentucky, you see Nas Reed was in foul trouble, but he comes in and gets 12.7 rebounds. Tremont Waters leading the team with 15 points, 5 assists. Skylar Mays, a solid 11 points. And then you see Javonte Smart off the bench with 8, 5, and 4. But Emmett Williams was the key. When Nas Reed went down with foul trouble, he came off the bench to give us 12 and 6, beating the Kentucky Wildcats, who aren't the Kentucky team of old. Yes, they have P.J. Washington and
it's still a big
Tyler
win,
Hero.
Especially in Rupp Arena.
It's exactly in Rupp Arena to go on the road, and especially after beating a quality Auburn team, a quality Mississippi State team, and Arkansas, to go after those 3 wins in a row, to go and then if you want to take it back to oh no, they lost to Arkansas by 1. But if you want to take it back to Missouri, they win against Missouri, they win against Texas A&M, they win against Georgia, they win against South Carolina, they lose against Arkansas, but bounce back against Mississippi State and Auburn, and then to go into Rupp Arena and beat Kentucky. Solid win. And like you said, if they handle business on the 23rd of February, LSU's the best team in the SEC, and I think they have a legitimate playoff push.
Yeah, I think they do as well. I think at this point, if the LSU doesn't make it to the Sweet 16, it should be a disappointment. I think that they're that good.
No, I agree.
I think that if you're an LSU fan out there, you should feel really good about getting to the Sweet 16. If that's as far as it goes, that's as far as it goes. But that's saying something for this team to have made it that far in the strides that they've gone through the past few years. I think that they got a really bright future going ahead of them with
and a great coach.
Yeah, exactly. Because of that great coach, I think that they're gonna really make a push for being one of these top teams in the SEC, because I feel like it really is up for grabs. And we'll see it when we get to the tournament. I just really don't know if the SEC is as
what it was
dominant as a conference as everyone thinks it is.
And also
in basketball.
I think in terms of, like you said, the conference is kind of up for grabs due to the fact that Duke is now in the one and done game, and Calipari's not getting the ones like he used to. It's not John Wall, because if Calipari was, he would have the Zions and the RJ Barrett on his team, but he doesn't. So
at least maybe one of them.
Exactly. So now it's like it's up to good coaching, and Will Wade is showing that he's a great coach and he's winning these games. Let's talk about Calipari's rival, who's getting these one and dones, Duke. What Duke did against Louisville, and the only reason why I'm going to talk about this is because I watched it. and they win against Virginia, and then go back-to-back to go against Louisville, be down by 20-something points at halftime, and then in the next half just come out and start in zone, let them miss a couple threes, and then start scoring the ball, and then getting that 2-2-1 press. Oh, that press was beautiful. The way they were trapping people in the corners. Trey Jones let me not get this kid's name wrong. Trey Jones and Jordan Goldwire. What Jordan Goldwire did off the bench and Trey Jones did on defense, because defense is what won them that game. What they did on defense, they created turnovers and allowed for their scorers like Zion to be in transition, get and ones, to allow people like Cam Reddish to make transition threes, to allow RJ Barrett to get up in the floor and Euro step off over people and get layups. It was due to Trey Jones and Goldwire's defense that allowed these stars to come out. Cam Reddish had a coming out party. We've said for months on this podcast that the best players on that team, for Duke to be as good as they are, Cam Reddish has to be the number 2 option, not RJ Barrett. It has to go Zion, then Cam, and RJ is the facilitator and gets the extra buckets, him and Trey Jones. We've seen when Cam Reddish balls, Duke's unbeatable, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying since the beginning of the season that I think that Cam Reddish is the guy to draft. Yeah, I really think that if you're an NBA franchise, you want to get Cam Reddish. If
he was pulling up from anywhere.
Yeah, I think he really kind of fits, even though he did go 4 for 14 in that game. But he'll make them. Yeah, sometimes he makes all those shots, so you never know. But yeah, I mean, I really like what Duke's doing. They're one of those teams where we've seen it in years past, where you have all the talent, but then you get to the tournament and you choke. I feel like that's kind of what we're getting with them.
But this year, it's a lot different than other years. They are definitively. If you look at the top 25, I've watched the Tennessee play, I've watched Gonzaga play, watched Virginia play, watched Kentucky play, watched Michigan play. I haven't seen Nevada play yet, so I'm gonna give them some bail. I've seen North Carolina play, haven't seen Houston play, seen Marquette, seen Michigan State, and seen a couple others in the top 25 like LSU, Wisconsin, Kansas, Villanova, Purdue, etc. Seen most of the top 25. The point that I'm getting at is there's those teams and then there's Duke. Duke is on a totally different level than these teams. Not only do they have Bolden and De Laurentiis and the Jack Whites coming off the bench, but when you have legitimately 4 NBA quality players who are ready for the NBA right now against kids who are still learning the game of basketball, trying to become a good college athlete, there's a difference. And I think the only team that maybe can give them a fight, I believe in my LSU team, but LSU has to have a lot of things go right. And I'm talking realistically. Realistically, it's Tennessee, and it's Tennessee due to the fact that the only way you combat strong freshmen is with strong seniors and juniors, and that's what Tennessee has.
Yeah, I could see that. The tournament is such an anomaly at this point after last year. I just don't know what's going to happen.
I can't bet against Duke because this isn't like other years where we've seen fabulous freshman teams. The NCAA knows that Duke is their breadwinner, and they will get more ratings if Duke continues to win. I'm not going to say they're going to win it all, but I don't see Duke not making it to the final game. I just don't see that. Based upon
we'll
everything surrounding the tournament and based upon just talent. But I just want to shout out Duke basketball and LSU before we finish up. But Shuby, that's all the topics we really had today for Bros Who Ball. Why don't we get into our weekly segment of You Like That?
I have a quick scumbag of the week.
Ooh, who you got?
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, damn. And this is perfect. We didn't even talk about that on Bros on the first part of the segment of Bros Who Think, and I totally forgot about that. Preach, brother. Why do you think they're scumbags? Let the people know.
Yo, I understand trying to give people second chances and all, but this was not the time and this was not the person. It's gotten to the point where I've heard that they took him off Madden.
Yeah.
You can't give this dude a contract. The Redskins have already been dealing with the pushback of putting Reuben Foster back on there, and I feel like maybe people would have been willing to try and give this guy a second chance in 2-3 Man, I don't know. He didn't even miss a full season.
It shows you what the league cares about. Talent outweighs tolerance. And I know everybody's going to like to point to Ray Rice. Ray Rice was done in his career. He was an old man. You could afford to kick Ray Rice out the league. You telling me that all those teams that don't have running backs could afford to not sign Kareem Hunt?
And the Browns had a running back. And two.
Maybe they don't believe in, and like you always say, Sony Michel was the better running back. They don't believe in Nick Chubb. But now with Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson's a passing back. Now you have a solidified backfield. John Dorsey, it shouldn't surprise you. John Dorsey drafted both Hunt and Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill had problems going into the draft of this same caliber. Domestic violence issues. You can't put this past John Dorsey. Shuby, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just showing you the hypocrisy of the NFL, that this has been going on forever, and this is just this just validates that the NFL is just scumbaggy, and you can sign people who will beat and abuse women, but someone who is standing up for a race of people dying due to police brutality gets blackballed.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I got no tie-ins with Colin Kaepernick with it, but I definitely am 100% with you that this definitely shows the NFL's true colors on what they really care about.
Talent outweighs tolerance, my brother. Talent outweighs tolerance. But I agree with you. NFL and the Browns, as much as we've been showing the Browns love due to Baker Mayfield and what they've done, y'all got to get the scumbag of the week. We call it like we see it. Good job, Shuby. All right, let's get into You Like That. Let's finish up this show happy. You want to start? Or let me go last because I'm going at two people.
All right.
I'm going at a whole list of mother MFers.
Well, I don't really have anyone to be too spiteful at because, I'm mad at Porzingis and the Knicks, but I can't really You Like That them. I've decided to go after a story of someone that really kind of took it on the chin this week. And it's the guy that kind of created this whole segment, Kirk Cousins. Did you hear about what happened with him?
No, what happened with Kirk?
Well, Kirk Cousins decides that he wants to be a really nice guy. And he goes on to Twitter and says, hey, I want to do a giveaway this year to a lucky fan. What do you guys out there think that you would like as a giveaway? And then the poll has signed jersey, signed football, signed mini helmet, or other. Well, when you post something like this on Twitter, you're going to get some answers. And he just got torn apart by all the Viking fans out there being like, yeah, we'd like your contract. We'd like your signed resignation. We'd like you to give some money back to the Vikings. We'd like you to give yourself away to another team. We want some cap space. We want some of that money back so we can actually sign a quality tackle to protect you.
So he didn't get no good answers.
No, he got all the hate. And so Kirk Cousins, you should have known better. This fan base isn't that into you yet, and they don't care about your kindness. They don't want your signed jersey right now, bro. Do you like that? They don't want anything signed by you right now. Your own fans. You like that?
They want your signed resignation.
You have no fans. Washington doesn't like you. Minnesota doesn't like you. Do you like that?
Well, we like you, Kirk, because we use your soundbite. You can come on here, but damn, do you like that, brother? You like that?
Yeah, man. We need to get this dude
something nice.
We need to get this dude some fans, man.
Young Kirk, man, sucks.
He needs to come play for the Birmingham Iron.
Oh no, get out of here.
For John.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting. I've been preparing to do this rant. And it was going to go one or two ways. Either I was going to take the L this week or the people that I was about to go against was going to take the L this week. I want to start off first with the city of LA. And I want to go into particular, not just Lakers hive, but LeBron James fans in particular. All week, I had to see on the timeline repost of Colin Cowherd saying the Pelicans are a horrible organization. I had to see Bomani Jones saying, oh, you need to trade him because you'll never get another option better than this. Or not move the franchise. Everybody's move the franchise, move the franchise, move the franchise. Last week we didn't talk. And then also, we didn't talk last week. I got to throw this on there as well for the city of LA. Not just LeBron fans, but the city of LA as a whole. You guys cheated us, and then look what happened to you in the Super Bowl. So there's that. That's the icing on the cake as well. But let me continue. You guys trashed Pelicans all week. And then it comes out, oh, you don't get the trade. Like we were saying from the jump, you guys weren't going to get the trade to begin with. But now, after all that, LeBron picks up Harrison Barnes, who got traded in the middle of the game. He said that's not right. But you were trying to trade your whole team. Now, you look at fast forward to today, those guys don't want to play for you. LA, do you like that? Kyle Kuzma doesn't feel respected. Lonzo Ball doesn't feel respected. None of these guys feel like you guys want them. Why should they play for you? Luke Walton, you're on death's door, brother. They want to kick you out of here. And I don't blame them because you've been kind of bad. But you got to take some of the grunt. Magic, you got egg in your face, my dog. You said you're going to bring in other free agents. You said you're going to bring big moves. If you guys don't get this AD thing, I don't know if y'all are bringing anybody in. You maybe can get Clay due to his pops, but if I'm Clay and KD leaves, I'm staying at the Warriors. I'm not going to LA. So Magic, egg on your face. Rob Pelinka, egg on your face. LeBron, bro, out of talking about being this great guy, you make players better. You just want to just cycle in players who fit you. You don't make players better. Players have to fit you. If not, you cycle them in. You did it last year. You're trying to do it again this year. These people don't want to play for you. LA, do you like that? LeBron, do you like that? He signs Rich Paul's checks. He signs the freaking checks. Not Rich Paul. Anthony Davis. Oh, brother, don't think you forgot out. You were left out of all this because you in this too. You got egg, especially on your face. Do they have your best interests in mind? When you go sit across from Rich Paul and LeBron and they eating dinner and they're paying you pictures of glory in LA, do they have your best? Do they have the idea that you want to be one of the best players in mind? Because if you look at the stats of that team and what they're trying to get rid of, they don't have the best player interest in mind. You know whose interest they have in mind? The man who signs the freaking checks. LeBron, not Rich Paul. I keep going back to that. It's not Rich Paul. Anthony Davis, you got so much egg on your face, my brother. It makes it to where people might not want to play with you going forward. Because look at what you're doing to the Pelicans. You turned a team that has galvanized themselves back into a loser. Because of you, dog. You got on the court and did that, not them. They was doing just fine without your ass, nigga. Anthony Davis, do you like that? Rich Paul, do you like that, Little Finger? Because that's your nickname on this podcast from now on. You Little Finger, bro. You the manipulator. But you Pinocchio. Because we gotta send a big you like that to Geppetto. And that's LeBron. The man who signs the freaking checks. That's his name. The man who signs the freaking checks. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't have to say his name no more. Little Finger and the man who signs the check. Do you like that? The real leaders of the Lakers organization, not Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson just a figurehead. Rob Pelinka, they only got you in there because of Kobe. They want to keep Kobe ties in there. And Jeannie Buss, I don't know what you're doing, girl. But all I got to say is this. Mitch Kupchak didn't do that bad job compared to what you guys doing right now. Because you might have got LeBron, but you lost your team. And LA, as a city, not only did you lose the trade deadline, but you lost the Super Bowl too. LA, do you like that? Magic Johnson, do you like that? Rich Paul, a.k.a. Little Finger, do you like that? Anthony Davis, especially, do you like that? And remember, when you look across them at the table, do they have your best interest in mind? And finally, LeBron James, the man who signs the freaking checks. Do you like that? You like that? That's all I got, Streeby. That's all I got, bro. I feel like that was decent.
You gave it to him, man.
I feel like that was all right. Nothing too. I tried to tone down the vulgarity, but make cool nicknames for Rich Paul and LeBron that I'm gonna continue to lose. We won't say their names anymore. It's just Little Finger and the man who signs the freaking checks.
Do you even think he writes those checks?
Probably not. It's probably
not.
The real power, Jenny, aka LeBron's assistant, the woman who signs the checks.
Now that's the article I want to read. Q&A with the woman who really signs the checks.
The chick, Jenny, a.k.a. LeBron's assistant. This has been a great episode of the BrosWhoThink Podcast. Shout out to my guy, Brooqlyn, doing the first part. You guys go follow him at Where's Brooqlyn at on Twitter and on Instagram. Look, you guys, Shuby, tell the people they can find you on social media before we get in there.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ashubert14. And make sure you listen to Bros Who Binge every Friday. Lots of big news this week. Lots of fun things to discuss. So definitely make sure you tune in.
100%. And ladies and gentlemen, everything is now on YouTube. All shows are now on YouTube. This week, Bros Who Binge, I know we said last week was going to be on YouTube. Last week's will be as well as this week's. But you can now follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us. And if you're on iTunes, remember to follow, subscribe, leave a comment. But if you're on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe. Every subscription we truly love. And if you have any questions, go to www.BrosWhoThink.com. Scroll all the way down on the homepage and put out the information. As well as we're Twitching now. You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/BrosWhoThink. Tonight I did some jump force action with 1 and 3. Kind of bad, but dude's butt on the last one. We're just getting used to playing video games in front of people, ladies and gentlemen. Once I break that I guess I don't want to call it what's the word, Shuby? Once I break that I don't know what the word is.
Initial
self-consciousness or whatever it is. Once I break through the barrier of not being afraid to play video games on camera, I'll show my true skill and start whooping niggas' asses. But y'all can follow that on Twitch. Me and Chris will be doing some stuff, as well as we'll film some of our games that we play this weekend and put it on YouTube for you guys for the newest episode of Anime Talk. You can check that out this upcoming Tuesday. But be sure to check out all the content on the Bros Who Think Network, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, iTunes/Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get podcasts. Remember to subscribe and follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think on Twitter. But for Shubert, for Brooqlyn, you guys have a great weekend. We're glad to be back with episode 82. We'll be back next week with more great stuff to talk in the realm of sports, pop culture, music, and etc. Whatever you guys feel is important for us to discuss, we shall discuss. But like I said, for Brooqlyn and Shubert, you guys have a great weekend. Come back to us next Thursday as always. Be safe, you guys, this weekend, and enjoy yourselves. Peace!
What if I told you I never dried off my hands? Would you still dab me up or even give a damn? If you think of all the times you said what's up, you shouldn't be hesitant to test your luck. It's like being upset I kiss my ex like this because I did it to her doesn't make it romantic. Lord, I know things are hard to face, so tell me what that takes away. Doesn't matter if it's good enough, if you know for sure you be in love. Please don't focus on things we should push aside, cause there's no point to stress on options in hindsight. See that time I gave you cash cause you were down on your luck. Would you try to give it back if I got it selling drugs? Don't be silly over pride, cause you're too blind to see the good in a little life. My intentions are the best.